we are back. Couch Company Podcast. I'm John, and with me, as always, T-Dog DeFazio.
Here I am.
What's
up?
Is up? Was
with
what I was
you as well.
Well,
too.
Not much.
Also,
it's been a pretty eventful week, I would say.
Yeah.
Between a lot of game-related news.
I was wondering because it was like, well, is it technically Sunday counts as the start of a week?
Yes.
So go on. Yes.
Okay, last week was pretty eventful.
Yeah.
A lot of game news.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get to talk about Xbox because that happened on a Sunday.
This week. Technically.
Doing math. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough. Oh, we were recording 3 days early. Yeah. It was last Sunday.
So we didn't get a chance to talk
Sunday
about it.
before.
So we're going to have our thoughts today.
Yeah.
And also, we didn't get to our top 5 last week, so we're going to have that today as well.
We have a lot.
We do have a lot to talk about. But as always, as is tradition, we have to talk about
I'm sorry. Go.
my thoughts in the shower.
Yeah.
Have to open
You lead
the show.
off with that.
I have to.
It keeps the rest squeaky clean.
Yes. You always need a good shower before you get down to business.
Down and dirty. With the
Dirty Dozen.
With the video games.
I thought we were going to do okay.
I never saw Dirty Dozen.
Me neither.
Dirty Dancing?
All right, you win.
I never saw Dirty Dancing either.
I never saw that either.
Yeah.
These are old movies, I'm
We're
assuming?
cultured. I'm sure they're overrated. Go on.
They might be better than the Batman, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
I mean, I feel like we don't have to say that anymore. That's a given.
All right, anyways. So the thoughts that I had this week were, well, actually, first of all, I finished The Sopranos, which fantastic TV show. For anyone who hasn't seen that show.
I asked you, was it better than Breaking Bad?
It's not better than
Breaking Bad.
Breaking
Bad. Okay.
No, Breaking Bad's the best show ever.
Okay.
Okay, but The Sopranos is up there. And I was alluding to this before when I was talking to you previously because we do talk outside of the podcast.
Occasionally, yeah.
That'd be crazy. What if we actually just showed up to the podcast and
just never talk? Yeah.
And then this is the only when the mics are on do we ever talk to each other.
That would be an interesting experiment.
That'd be a fantastic experiment.
Yeah.
And we'll add it to the list of things we want to do.
Sure. Okay. Just not talk to each other. That's what we want to do.
Well, we'd have to get another person.
Yeah.
One for me, one for you. Or one that we both don't know.
Okay.
And then we both do
we
it
got
separately.
2 more slots on this thing. I'm just going to buy a whole bunch of microphones and stuff, I guess.
It's going to be expensive. Anyways, The Soprano, fantastic show. So I don't know if I should spoil it or not.
Probably not. I feel like I would, if you sell me on it, I would watch it.
Oh, yeah, you should watch it. Do you like
I'm sold.
mobster shows?
Yeah, they're okay.
So it's very...
Let me ask you this. If I think Godfather's overrated, where does Sopranos fall on that?
What do you think is overrated about The Godfather?
Oh, just the story, music, acting sort of stuff.
Like, are you serious?
No, I don't remember a lot about The Godfather. I thought it was fine. I just remember everyone says like The Godfather is like
it's amazing.
Not the worst movie, the best movie ever.
It is. I don't think you get it.
Okay,
I'm just telling you,
no,
man.
sure, I don't get it.
The subtlety of it.
Okay, absolutely.
So
knowing that I don't get that, let's play off that.
So if there's a scale of Godfather, because The Godfather is pretty tame when it comes to dry, I guess,
Godfather,
right?
Departed. There's your scale. Where does Sopranos
Yeah. So
fall?
where's Breaking Bad on that? Like less than The Departed?
Less than The Departed, but on closer to that scale.
Right. Yeah. So Sopranos is probably in the middle, or maybe a little bit on the Godfather side. There's a lot of subtlety there.
Okay, so that aligns with what I...
But it explores the psyche a lot, which I think you would appreciate about this, because throughout the show, Tony's in, which is the main character, Tony Soprano, he's in therapy, which is really interesting. Like, we've never seen a perspective like this from a mob boss or a gangster or whatever.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to explore his feelings and why he does what he does and trying to rationalize everything, and you know what I mean? So I think it's fascinating.
Okay.
But there is action in it too. So it's not as there's action in The Godfather, but there's not like a ton, right?
And I'm fine with like a quote unquote drama piece. Like that's
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It's just told in such an interesting way because it's like a lot of the storylines that they do never finish. Like there's so many loose ends to what they do. So it's like if you're someone who likes satisfying conclusions to storylines, it's like you're going to be very bothered by this. And I think that was extremely intentional on their part because they're, he's saying, whoever created it, I forget what his name is, but he's saying like, that's not the point of what's
Dick
going on
Wolf,
here.
I'm sure. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is that like a per season thing, or is that like at the end there was just a lot that they didn't?
Well, the ending is like that, ambiguous, and that kind of goes into the next point I was going to ask you. But yeah, I mean, all throughout the show, not even a season thing. Like you'll have a one episode plot line, that never gets talked about again, and it's insane. It's super intentional.
Does it make sense that so like as he's trying to rationalize or compartmentalize or talk through it, he was just using it as like an example, and it's just these thoughts that he's throwing out there
in like therapy?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like he is such a dynamic character. It's really interesting how they do it. I'm still processing it. Like a lot of the time, you can't tell when he's being real or fake. I mean, he's, he could be considered like a sociopath. You know what I mean?
I would assume so. Isn't that the prereq for mob boss?
Yeah, right? Like, you can't feel empathy, right? So...
Where does Peaky Blinders fall into that scale?
Never seen Peaky Blinders.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Peaky Blinders is trash, overrated.
Yikes.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I've never seen it. I should watch Peaky Blinders. Next up on my list is Planet Earth 2. IMDb's audience says it's the best TV show of all time.
How long is
beating Breaking Bad?
How long is Planet Earth 2?
It is a mini series.
I like mini.
6 episodes, probably an hour each.
6 hours. That's an easy watch.
Well, The Sopranos is an hour each, 6 seasons.
Well, that's what I was getting at. Is like you just did a stint with The Sopranos.
But I already finished it, so that should tell you something.
Yeah,
I either have no life,
something,
or it's a good show.
Sure,
you're gonna have to take a coin flip on that one.
Okay, it's probably both. I think you needed to watch Peaky Blinders.
I watched Peaky Blinders, but Planet Earth 2 is first.
What's third?
On IMDb.
Yeah, like what's after Planet Earth? I feel like Planet Earth.
I feel like we talked about this, but
I'm just curious.
Pulling up the IMDb app right now, so excuse the interruption.
I can't believe you haven't seen Peaky Blinders, honestly.
Planet Earth 1 is number 3. This show must be life-changing.
I don't...
Like, this show must make you ejaculate every time you watch it.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Sure. It continues the whole life thing.
It's natural. Like, literally. The Earth.
Yeah.
How do you think the ecosystems turn over?
I don't have enough information on ecosystems.
Honestly, I'm trying to just make a reference to self-indulgence every episode now. That is my personal goal.
That's something.
It is something.
Well, you can check that box off.
Should I be proud of it? No.
Well,
but it's me.
You should be proud of you.
Well, Planet Earth 1 is number 3, and then Band of Brothers 4, which I need to go back and rewatch.
Yeah.
You must love Band of Brothers.
No.
What?
Yeah,
it's the Saving Private Ryan TV shows.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nothing
you say makes sense.
I know.
Do you understand that?
I know.
Nothing you say.
I'm a mystery.
Yeah, you're an enigma wrapped in a mystery.
In an onion.
In an onion, shipped in a box with keyboards.
It's very
because you never arrive.
Oh. Wow. Yeah. Is that another masturbation joke, or is
it
that like
could be interpreted as that?
Yeah.
But I was leaving the door open to maybe a more philosophical and buttoned up approach.
It could go either way.
It could go either way, which is also could be another reference to sexual innuendos.
We're just hitting off the explicit content.
I can't help myself.
So,
have you seen Chernobyl?
No, I do want to see. I would
that's
watch
number 5.
Chernobyl over Band of Brothers, I think.
Which is ridiculous. But that's number 5. It came out a couple years ago.
I'm interested in it. I don't know.
Why? Band of Brothers is great.
But I don't know. I mean, not that I know everything about World War II, but like Chernobyl seems like, it's this like what happened type of thing. Like I don't know a lot about Chernobyl. I'd find that interesting.
What are the games that's kind of like that about that?
Oh, the Metro games?
Yeah, Metro games.
Yeah.
I never played a single Metro game.
You're missing out.
I know. I hear they're great.
Great.
Whoa.
They are very good.
Okay.
They're like borderline great. I don't know if
never one hasn't snuck into the great category.
No. I mean, I guess if you go with like the Redux versions and kind of like the remasters, like they look a little nicer. Exodus.
Does the game have to look nice for it to be great?
No. I'm just saying, like, whenever they kind of went back and did the little remasters, I went back to them and I'm like, oh, okay, these feel a little bit better. Yeah.
I see.
They have some cool stuff.
I got to watch The Wire.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, right?
No.
It's number 8.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it.
I don't like animes.
It's a cartoon, but
I'm just trying to trigger some people, that's all.
No, I'm not mad.
No, well, I'm not including you. I know you don't care.
I'm just kidding. Anyways, so there's 2 things, and I probably forgot one of them. But in terms of The Sopranos, so it's an ambiguous ending.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Where
is it meant to be, like, they knew they were ending, or was it canceled?
They knew they were ending.
Then I'm fine.
I'm actually surprised you don't know about this. This was 2007. Okay. So you were like 32.
I was graduating high school.
Oh, okay. But it was like a very famous like pop culture thing.
Yeah.
The ending. So I don't know if you remember that at all.
I don't know anything about it.
Wow, that's insane. Because like I remember, so when I'm done watching like a really good show, I go straight to YouTube and look up videos on like reviews or analysis or whatever. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but I really like seeing what other people's thoughts and interpretations, especially with an ending like that. And in one of the analysis of the endings, they showed a lot of clips of the reaction of the populace in that time. So like I said, it ended in 2007, and like I mean, it was so big that like they were talking about it on talk shows and
yeah. I mean,
like
Friends was the same way. Frasier,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised you just didn't.
I don't know why I think Frasier. I guess maybe Seinfeld too, but like
Frasier definitely not, but Seinfeld. Probably.
No, I mean it's talked about. It's just
Frasier?
Like, yeah.
I don't know what the ending is for that.
Oh, I don't know either. What I'm saying is, it's not about the ending. It's about like the show ending. It's less about what happened.
Well, this was both. I mean, it was the show was ending.
I mean, look at Game of Thrones. It's the same thing.
But also the ending was very polarizing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was good.
Is it like a what was the one weird? Oh crap! What was it? Like they were like stranded.
Lost.
Lost. Yeah.
Lost.
Survivor. Lost.
Survivor.
Yeah.
Lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost went off the rails.
Yeah.
Big time.
They had an Easter egg in Arkham.
Did they?
Yeah. He's like, why did all in the church? He just starts like going, like Joker starts going on this tangent. I don't know. It was funny.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about ambiguous endings? Do you care?
No,
you're
I don't
fine
care.
with that?
Yeah.
Usually I hate it because I need to know what happens.
Uh-huh.
I'm not creative enough to fill in the pieces. But this is a little bit different because I think there was enough evidence purposely put into the show to kind of let you know what happened.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, if they ran out of ideas and they leave it ambiguous because they're just like, then
no,
it starts
very
getting...
intentional.
If it's
in this
intentionally
case.
Ambiguous, then that's something. Like, for instance, like with, I don't know why Dexter pops in my mind, but like if they would have left it where he's just driving his boat out into like the storm,
right?
And that's it.
Yeah, I'm
down with that. But no, now you have to like zoom in on him as a lumberjack or something. And it's just like, why?
There's a new season or something.
No, that was how the series ended.
Aren't they making a new thing?
Yeah, and apparently the beginning was fairly decent. But like that would be the thing is like, don't allude that he's still alive. Like just like end it. And that ended on a bad note. And I don't know why that popped in my mind, but it's just like, be deliberate. So be Breaking Bad deliberate and finalize it and wrap everything up, or just end it and keep it open, but like telegraph that you're ending it. I don't know.
Just take one dip and end it.
I guess what I'm saying is I don't really care either way.
Little Seinfeld reference for you.
Yeah, I'm not
the double dip
episode.
Yeah,
I just finished the what was it? It was like the parking one. There's
where they were lost. They couldn't find the car or whatever.
No, that was early on. There was one where like Kramer parks people's cars or moves them for like street cleaning or something like that. I don't know.
I'm not. You're gonna have to say something more memorable in that episode than that.
Does he like cookies or something? Whatever. It's not important. Xbox, right?
Yeah, Xbox. Xbox is definitely something. Actually, I wanted to talk about one other thing first.
Okay, just kidding.
So, I had a nightmare.
Oh.
And it was...
In the shower?
Terrifying. No.
Okay.
This is after the shower.
So you shower, you go to bed.
Yep.
You always shower at night?
No.
Okay.
I usually shower during the day now.
Yeah, I like
because
showering
I'm
during
bored
the day.
at work, and so I just go take a shower.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. They're paying me to do it. Just kidding. I love my job and want to stay fruitfully employed. Do it on my lunch break.
Obviously, I didn't think that was a. Anyway, so you had a nightmare.
You can't be too careful.
What happened in the nightmare?
Okay, so I was having a dream about something, and at the end of the dream, there was this commercial that I thought was really funny. I was like, this is a great joke. So I wake up, and I, as always, go to my phone on my nightstand to write down the joke.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I go to open my phone, and a message pops up, and it says, I see you. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yikes.
And this felt real.
Yeah.
And I was like terrified, obviously. And so like I don't know what to do. And then my flashlight comes on, and like all of, like my phone unlocks by itself and everything. Like they're going through my phone and shit. And I cover the camera. That's like my first instinct on the phone. And there's like more messages just taunting me, just like LOL. You think that's gonna work? Blah blah blah. And like I just like throw my phone or something, and then I actually wake up. Horrifying.
I had a dream similar where I woke up, picked up my phone, the flashlight just comes on, and as the flashlight comes on, it startles me, but then there's just like, I guess the closest thing is like an alien just like standing there, like looking at me.
Oh.
And like the flash like illuminates it.
Yeah.
And you get that like, like you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible.
No, I thought someone like hacked me.
Yeah, that's
big time, because I was waking up from a dream. So I was like, okay, so
in a real world scenario.
In a real world, like totally. it was very real. And then I woke up again, man. You know that when it happens in like shows.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
The double fake.
Can't.
So anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about. Horrifying dream. The real ones are the worst.
Yeah.
That's all I got. All right. So anyways, Xbox. Speaking of
Microsoft
nightmares, Microsoft wants to take over the world.
Yeah, they want something like that.
So one of the first announcements for the Xbox Bethesda showcase, I think they call it, was Riot.
Yeah, they kicked it off, and we're just like, hey, you like that League of Legends, right? You could just have it.
So
I sent you a picture of it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, there's no way I'm reading this correctly.
Right.
So I take a screenshot because I was watching on my phone, and it literally says like all League of Legends characters unlocked, and all Valorant characters unlocked, and Team Fortress, or not Team Fortress,
Team Fight
Tactics. It's like something on there. So I sent it, and I'm just like, well, it's a good thing I didn't waste my money, I guess. Like, how does that not, and this isn't until fall or winter or something, right?
Yeah.
So how does that not, and maybe if people are playing the game, they just don't care, but like, how does that not like cut sales?
Because Microsoft just handed you the fattest check of your fucking life.
I guess, and they just don't care.
Do you understand how much it would cost? Like, let's just take League of Legends from the equation.
No concept, yeah.
Okay, there's 160 champions. Mm-hmm. Do you know how much it would cost to buy all of them?
What's the average champion cost?
I have no idea. I've never bought a champion with real money, but I can only fathom. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars per person.
Well, so thousands of dollars. Yeah, I mean, well, is it thousands? So is it like $5 for champion? It's more than $5.
I don't know.
So if you have 160
let's say it's $5 per champion.
So that'd be 800.
That'd be $800. Okay.
Yeah.
So $800 per person. That's on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know if they do the deal that way. Probably not. It'd probably be less expensive than that. But
probably because how many people are actually going to buy every champion?
Well, no, it's just because it's a bulk kind of thing, and there's no. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Anyways, it's got to be a fat check that they're cutting, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're looking at it, and let's say it costs $10 for a champ, right, instead of $5. Yeah. That's a whole month of.
I know.
Like it's insane.
160.
I mean, hey, good on them. But that's what a way to open.
That's wild. I don't think it was a very exciting announcement to the populace, because I think a majority of people either play League or the rest are not even going to try. Like, I was talking with my buddy today, and I was like, they're coming out with another new champion, and I'm like, I mean, this is like the third or fourth champion this year.
Oh, wow. This year alone? So in the past 6 months?
At least 3. So it's like, or maybe 2 or 3. But anyways, it's like, there's already 160, man.
Yeah.
Like, what's the end game here? You're going to have 500 champions in your fucking game? Like, that's unsustainable.
At what point do they just make like a 2.0?
I don't think they're going to.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't think it's smart either. I mean, we'll see how Overwatch does, but CSGO did good with that back in the day, but they haven't done anything since.
And you don't have champs in CSGO, right?
True.
So like, it doesn't...
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what you do there.
I don't know either. I think you have to keep it on what you have it on. I think you lose a huge chunk because you're giving people a reason to not install the next one. Be like, nah, fuck it. I'm done. But
you're giving them an out. Like you're giving them an end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you have all these addicts, dude, you got to keep them coming.
You got to keep tapping that vein. I don't know.
So anyways, but the Valorant stuff's exciting because I don't have all the champs on that, so I'll get that. I guess you'll have to sync up your Riot and Xbox account.
But it's less exciting on the Valorant side because, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're all free technically.
Are they?
You just have to play enough. And I guess to some extent, League of Legends is the same way.
Yeah, I know, exactly. League is the same way, but fuck that.
But not 160 champs.
But now I can hop on Valorant and play whoever I want, which is all I ever want in any game.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't want to work for any champ.
No unlocks then.
Yeah, I'll do unlocks, but like cosmetic unlocks.
It's a bold move. Well, not a bold move, but like it's a strong start. And I think it's actually kind of interesting that you're going to start your conference with PC and mobile centric stuff. You're going to start the Xbox conference.
I don't know. To me, it seems like these conferences are started with the weakest stuff. I feel like they backload everything.
I guess.
Important. Like, for example, I just recently watched the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII stream that they had. And it was only like 10, 15 minutes. But they started it with this cool title sequence thing, and then they immediately went into their mobile games that nobody gives a fuck about. And then they went into these little figures you can buy or some shit. So it's like terrible. But then they finish with you finish with the best
you
thing
wanted
you
Final Fantasy VII. You're here for that. Weird.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
cool.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. So
I don't know. I mean, like they showed some decent stuff at Xbox. I know we were a little bit down on video games last week, so like I think Xbox did a good showing. I hate the internet, but it's interesting to see the acceptance of Sony's higher price points.
Right.
And I think that's a takeaway to talk through, where it's like, you know, whenever the switch from $64, $64.19, whatever, to like the $70 video game, it was like big deal. Everyone's like rebelling against it and things like that. Now Sony's Sony, I'll say fanboys, but the narrative is like, well, yeah, but we're paying for quality, right?
Right.
So now they're pulling in like side-by-side comparisons of like, here's Horizon, here's Starfield, which I'm sure we'll get to. Horizon looks so much better. It's $70. It's like, yeah, okay. And they're like, I'd rather pay $70 for one solid game versus $10 or $15 if you want to go Ultimate for 300 subpar games or whatever.
Right.
I think that's a little reductive personally whenever you're looking at that stuff, because you're comparing like AAA, like very kind of graphically intense title with like an indie title that might not be going for something along those lines. So it's just a different clientele, and I get that, but people are so quick to discount on both sides, right? So like PlayStation's doing their own PlayStation Plus thing, and so the Xbox is, you know, ripping on that, and that is the toxic crap that I can't stand when that stuff pops up. Personally.
Yeah, I think it is pretty interesting. Like, I understand, we talk about this quite a bit, both philosophies of each company, right?
Yeah.
And it's obvious, you know, they have to take different approaches. Like, PlayStation's not going to be able to compete. Like, I'm sorry, PlayStation Plus is not going to be able to compete with what Xbox Game Pass is doing. That's just a fact of the matter, right? Like,
to be fair, currently, I agree with you.
Currently, yeah. I mean, who knows what's going to happen down the line, but we can only reference what the current state of everything is, obviously.
Yeah.
A whole year of Xbox Game Pass is going to be less expensive than 2 titles on PlayStation 5.
Yep.
So, new titles, I should say. So, that kind of means something, right? I mean, And it's not like Xbox Game Pass games are bad. Like Forza Horizon 5 is a great game.
Yeah.
I got it for nothing because I'm paying $10 a month. And how many hours have I put into that, right? And I'm now playing Guardians of the Galaxy, which is fantastic. I'm having a really great time with that. You've played Tunic. You've played a lot of these other. Sniper Elite 5 came out that we want to check out. We just played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, so if you're paying for all of this, if we were PlayStation players, would we play all these games? There's no way. So
well,
I think
it's not even like would you play those games, but would you pay $25 to play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No.
Like, is that worth that cost? I'm not saying it's not a good game, but it's just like if you have a limited funds and like, obviously there's a lot going on in the world where it's like what stretches your dollar more or what gives you more opportunities, and it's what you're looking for. I don't care if somebody wants to pay $140 for 2 PlayStation titles and they'd rather pay that and spend hundreds of hours in Horizon and Final Fantasy or God of War or whatever your 2 are.
Right.
More power to you. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's whenever you start crapping all over the other guy because you feel like if Starfield was coming to PlayStation, it would be a completely different narrative. But because Microsoft bought Bethesda and now Starfield's only coming to Xbox, suddenly it's a garbage game that Sony fans have to hate because it's not coming to their system.
Well, I feel like the rivalry drives, competition and it drives sales, I'm sure, and everything like that. People want to support their side and everything like that.
I mean, really, PC.
I mean, that's how life works, right? I mean, like, look at the state of the world. I mean, you want people to be against each other because your ratings go up. Yeah. It's just a fact of the matter.
That's what I hate, I guess.
I don't know if Microsoft or Sony is intentionally fueling the fire to that. I don't really see any evidence supporting that, but the internet is very...
I mean...
People love taking stances, I guess, and being on their side or whatever.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, so
it is what it is.
I know we've been kind of dancing around Starfield. Like, that's what they ended the show with. That's what everyone's been, quote unquote, waiting for.
Yeah, there wasn't a ton of other...
I mean, they had some stuff like Redfall. And again,
there was this one game that I guess kind of like an indie title, and I cannot remember what it is. It was really cool, though. It was this guy who, I guess he's like an investigator or something, and there's like this demon, and it was like a 2D kind of platformer kind of thing, very dark and shadowy. I guess he was investigating the murder of his dad or something. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
the name was really weird. It was.
But here's the best thing.
Like
I would assume that's going on Game Pass, right?
Yeah, probably.
So that's the kind of thing where it's there's this weird thing that I saw.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's try it for a night, and if you like it, great. If you don't, great. Whatever. But it gives you the freedom to really explore. Yeah.
And that's what I personally really like. I understand both models, right? I think both models have merit. Like, I have a PS5, so I can get Horizon, so I can get God of War when it comes out,
right.
Final Fantasy. Like, I want to play these titles right when they come out. So I get that. But I also love Game Pass where, like you were saying, I have no reason not to try out these games.
It's less commitment. Because, how many times do you say, I need to play Horizon?
Yep.
Because you bought the PlayStation, you bought Horizon, you're throwing money away if you're not playing Horizon.
Right.
But with Xbox, it's like, okay, here's $10. We'll see what I play.
10 a month.
Yeah.
And
like, we played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for 2 hours, right? Or an hour and a half or whatever it is. And it's like, all right, that's maybe half of my game. Like, I feel like I got $5 worth. If we were in an arcade putting quarters in,
right.
How many times did we go down? So it's like, all right, it's kind of the same thing.
We're ahead for sure.
So you can justify and rationalize it however you want. But I mean, I don't know. Like, they were showing a lot of good stuff, a lot of good indie stuff. Nothing first party, which is important to note.
The game was called The Last Case of Benedict Fox.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
it was cool. I liked it. I think that's going to be up your alley.
I think they showed that last year, too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that's new. That's not like a new...
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's on Game Pass for spring 23, so...
Nice.
That I thought that was interesting. A couple... Diablo 4, obviously. Do you have thoughts on Diablo 4?
At this point, I don't care. Like,
Okay.
I care very much. I am very much looking forward to Diablo. I'm terrified and they kind of snuck these little things in of like, yeah, it's just cosmetic stuff that you can purchase. It's like, okay, Diablo 3 did this. Like, so they were quick to say that the game it's a premium game. You pay for the game. That's it. It's not. And they were like kind of reiterating the fact that like, okay, this isn't like the mobile game. Don't worry about it type of thing.
Right.
But overall, like, I'm good with the announcements. Just get it out. I'll check it out. I don't want to know every little thing about it because I feel like I'm going to lose a lot of the discovery for myself and whatnot. So I don't know. It's cool. Like, I guess they put the necromancer as the last character. So
were they doing like a trailer per character or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in E3 they were showing, or the Game Award, I forget. They were showing like, here's the archer rogue or whatever it is.
I like the little cinematic. I thought that was cool.
They always look great, and I think it looks really good too. I think the lighting goes a long way for that series.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to make it a little bit more gruesome and dark, and like blood definitely looks like goopy, and like it's fine. I have yet to see like, okay, do I like the idea of mandatory multiplayer? I'm never that guy. I'm not that MMO guy. I'm not like, I don't like going into like raids and doing all that stuff. Plenty of people do. That's not me.
Yeah.
So
I think the idea of the world bosses randomly spawning and shit like that. So that is, I'm not huge on MMOs either, but that is one aspect of Guild Wars that I love. These huge bosses that come into the world and you feel like you need everyone to take it down. I think
I just never feel, and maybe I'm wrong, I just never feel like I do anything. Like, I'm just there and I'm clicking, and it's like, yeah, eventually it goes down, and it's like, cool.
I guess I think of it differently. Like, I am part of the group. I mean, you need...
Yeah.
I guess you don't need everyone there, but I don't know. I feel it's more of an experience for me. I like the atmosphere of it.
I understand
just the epic scale of it.
Yeah.
It's really cool to me.
They have like PvP areas, so you can just, if you go into the area, like you can get attacked, you can attack, stuff like that. I think that's interesting.
Like the wilderness in RuneScape.
Sure. or like V Rising. Like I think that stuff is interesting and that's cool.
Yeah.
It's just,
are we getting away from what Diablo is?
No, because 2 had like a lot of that stuff. Like, not necessarily multiplayer stuff, but like that's good for certain people. Are we getting away, and this is me being very selfish, are we getting away from what I liked about Diablo?
I see.
But we'll see. I don't know. They talked about Redfall for vampires. Yep. I was very high on that game with the cinematic trailer that they did, and now that they showed, like, I guess, kind of gameplay, I found it very generic, personally. Like, I was just like, okay. Like, I don't know.
I was telling you I thought that was for just console, but did you ever look that up?
I didn't. I don't know. And honestly, if it is, like,
the list
fine,
right now,
like, whatever. That's okay.
I mean, obviously, that would skew excitement for it in terms of our perspective.
Yeah, well, sure. But
anything... Trying to look through everything here.
I mean, we should talk about Starfield. We should.
Well, the last thing I wanted to talk about before that is Persona 3 through 5 coming to... Now, this is very selfish excitement, obviously. I don't know how excited everyone else is, but coming to Game Pass is super awesome.
Yeah, it's coming to Steam, too. So if you don't like the Game Pass thing... The big thing is, like, Persona is coming to PC.
Yes, which is huge. I mean, Persona 4 was on PC, came to Steam. I was going to buy Persona 5 anyways when it came to Steam, but now I don't have to because I have Game Pass. How amazing is that? Yeah. I mean, that game, talk about value.
Yep.
So really excited about that, 3 through 5. I've never played 3, so I'm excited to check that out. But I think getting those out to a different audience is going to be really good. I think those games are really well done.
I'll give it another go. I'll be interested to see if it can hold my attention. Like, I liked it, and I think I jumped off it right when it got into the kind of the loop of like, okay, you're going into the dungeon. Here's this.
Which one did you play?
Played 5. I never played 4.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
But anyways, the big reveal was Starfield, and you are not excited for it at all.
So I watched the trailer again.
Okay.
And I will say I caught a lot more the second time through it. But yeah, I mean, it's not that I'm not excited. I think Star Citizen is promised a lot, right?
Yeah.
I think you have a lot in No Man's Sky, which also way overpromised whenever they first came out. Now they made good on a lot of stuff and more, so No Man's Sky is a different kind of conversation. But Starfield scares me in the way of like, oh, hey, you want to know how big it is? It's 1,000 planets. You can land anywhere you want, whatever, and it's like how do you make meaningful content like that? And they were quick to say, you might land on a desolate world. It's like, cool. I assume you can scan things and know if it's a desolate world or not, because then it's like, okay, I don't have to go here or whatever. And maybe they have a great system in place. But
yeah, how many inhabited worlds are there?
Well, it's not multiplayer, right?
I don't think so.
So then it starts getting, and I know I'm talking on both sides of my mouth where I'm like, oh, I want multiplayer, but I don't want multiplayer type of thing. But it's like, if you go in this world and you spend all this time building up a base and doing all these different things, and like building your starship and stuff, I feel like that's the kind of thing that you should take pride in. You want to like show off and be like, oh, look at this cool thing that I did. And then it's like, okay, well, there's no multiplayer. So I don't know. I mean, No Man's Sky did it so well, and I kind of feel bad for Sean Murray in the way that it's like, it's not even that Starfield had similar things, but it's like, oh no, you land on a planet, you scan a thing, you can shoot a guy, you mine ore, you get resources, like you can run around and shoot some things, you can fly in outer space. Like, it's like, okay, so this is like truly No Man's Sky. I don't know. There were a lot of comparisons that popped up like almost right after people were watching.
Yeah, I think a lot of the elements are the same. I think the key difference is there's obviously a story component to this, right?
I hope. I hope that the story is interesting and and maybe I'm off, but like I never felt that the stories, and I think we talked about this last episode, I never felt like Skyrim had like an amazingly well-driven story, right?
I think
all the other
Fallout
stuff.
did.
See, I never got into the Fallout games, but okay, like
New Vegas,
good.
I thought had a good story, and
yeah,
I think that was the best one. I think followed by 3, in my opinion. But yeah, I agree. Like Skyrim, I don't think that's what that's known for. Obviously, Skyrim's more of do what you want, and you have all this freedom and exploration, which is cool.
I just find it weird, and maybe they're just trying to set expectations up front. I just found it weird that they were showing off a trailer that was like 24 frames.
That was
like
very
30 frames. Like it looked rough.
Very
Some of the
strange.
effects looked rough. Like I watched it again. Like I'm seeing all like the smoke come down, and
Smoke
I'm like,
looked awful. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, okay.
Well, what were they on? Did they say what they were on, or
I don't think so. They
Maybe
might have
they were
said
on an
Series
Xbox,
X,
yeah.
maybe. But that's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like they're like trying to set those expectations. So it's like, okay, if you're getting this on a Series X, how does that transfer to PC? How is it actually going
it's
to
a
run?
Bethesda game, man. I mean, Skyrim doesn't look good
But that's the thing.
until the mods come in.
Yeah, but like, okay, so we waited all this time for this thing that like, and to be fair, like the character faces and stuff looked fine.
Yeah, not
but
bad.
now you have the PlayStation guys putting up pictures of Aloy and the NPCs next to.
Well, here's the thing, man.
Starfield.
So you have to pick your battles here. So
Yeah.
if they want it to be 1,000 planets, they're going to have to make limitations. So that kind of alleviates that a little bit in my mind to see like, okay, well, this isn't a beautiful, unbelievably graphical achievement. Maybe it is feasible that the scale is closer to what they're depicting.
Right.
So, I mean, we don't have the technology yet to have a Horizon Zero Dawn as big as whatever. I mean, 1,000 planets or whatever.
But my point then is, I think you would be hard pressed if you took one planet and made that feature rich, dense, cities everywhere, towns. I mean, think about Earth.
Yeah,
right?
it's so big. Exactly.
Yeah, so you have the space on one planet. It can't, and he said you can land anywhere on the planet. You can go to this city, or you can go anywhere. And it's like, okay, well, is there anything?
Maybe the scale.
else?
Maybe it's scaled down. Maybe it's maybe the whole planet's traversable.
I'm
for
sure,
example,
but like
right?
let's even make it bigger and say like, okay, you have this solar system. That would be insane. Like people would get off of that before. Like you couldn't explore it all, right? I mean, I'm sure you could, but like if you actually took the time to make all that stuff dense, but instead it's like let's procedurally generate 1,000 planets. And like what you take like, and I'm making this up, but it's like you take one story mission here, and then you go see John Smith at this planet, and then you have to like do your space flight thing, maybe fight a few pirates, land on a thing, do that thing, and then jump to another. Like, I don't know. Look, maybe they have it figured out. Maybe they have something that's a really fun loop that I'm going to be eating my words, which I hope I am. I just get very, very nervous when people are like, look how big and crazy this is.
Yeah.
Works for No Man's Sky, but No Man's Sky doesn't have the pedigree of story that is expected of a Bethesda game. And look at BioWare. Look at where they're at right now, where they're just in the gutter because they can't get anything off the ground and everyone's like giving them crap for it. So it's like, I hope Dragon Age is good. I hope this is good, because I hope these studios that are known for stuff, they're just not delivering. That's the problem.
Yeah. I don't know what that comes down to. Time constraints or whatever. I mean, it's not a budget thing, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, yeah, when he said that, obviously it was a little bit like, wait a minute, what? Like, that's too much.
I think it had
not too much, but that's like, can you deliver on that? There's no way.
It had the opposite effect, right?
1,000 planets?
Yeah. It had the opposite effect.
I don't think they're procedurally generated. They never said that.
I was reading some news article. Like, how else do you do it? You have
They've been working on this for 30 years.
Yeah, okay. No wonder it looks that way. No, like, you just... I think it had... for me personally, it had the negative effect of, okay, like, let's see what you got.
If he said there were 100 planets, you could go anywhere, I would be like, ooh.
I love... And he's like, it's not the story we're telling, it's the story you're telling. And it's like, okay, man, you're making me nervous. Yeah, so it's like, all right. Like,
just No Man's Sky?
Yeah, maybe give me my hand.
That's literally No Man's Sky.
Right, but the problem is, No Man's Sky, you have these like bustling, like, it's multiplayer. Like, that's the thing. And now it wasn't originally, now it is. And now it's like, I can bring in my fleet and you have yours and here's this thing and we can teleport between each other and
stuff.
stuff.
Give me dialogue options.
You have dialogue options. In No Man's Sky, are literally, like, one of the collectible things, because there are like tablets everywhere around the world and stuff, you go up to them to learn words in alien languages. So the longer you play, the more of the language. Like, whenever you talk to different species in No Man's Sky, you can't understand a single thing. And there are prompts. So, like, it's like they tell you, like, it's just gibberish, and then they give you like a multiple choice prompt, and you're like, I have no idea what I'm saying, but you just pick a random one.
You can't back out of the conversation.
No, well, you might. One of them maybe says like, "Oh, never mind" or something, but you can't understand it. So whenever you're talking through that stuff, eventually, as you're learning things, words will pop up in there. And it's a super cool system of like, the more you play, the more you learn the language. I
just see the reason. I mean, like, what's the point? There's no story. There's no progression.
There definitely is a progression.
There's a progression in terms of you learn more words and you communicate with NPCs, but
yeah, but you build ships, make a bigger fleet. You literally get a capital ship that you can store all your different ships that you barter and trade and different things like that. You can send the frigates out to do different missions and things like that. You can build different bases with teleporters to go to different systems and whatnot. You can have pets now. You can have a living ship that you can literally grow. And you can fly around in like this like alien thing. You have like I told you, like the Normandy's part of it. That was an event. You have mechs now. Like, they have different combat systems. Like, they are literally adding just these massive updates constantly. And you have that, and it's coming on Switch apparently. I would love to see how that performs. But then you have Starfield, which is like, I guess my main thing is, short of you're talking to humans, what is Starfield bringing to the table that No Man's Sky doesn't have?
A narrative. That's what I'm saying.
I hope so. But if it's a narrative spread over 1,000 planets.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's more focused than that. But
again, maybe they figured it out.
So maybe there's a lot of end game content. I don't know.
Maybe. But if you take,
I don't know. Dude.
But if you take the multiplayer aspect out of it,
yeah,
how long does that have? And are you gonna? I assume they're gonna update it, like if it performs. Otherwise, like, how many expansions do you get to put out and stuff like that? Who knows?
I have no idea, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
It might suck.
But
it might be good.
It sounds like I'm expecting that. Like, I hope not. I truly hope not, because I love space. I would love to make my ship how I want it, which it looks like you can do.
Yeah.
Fly it, do your... I want to be Han Solo. That's all I want in anything. Like, but if nothing else, Star Citizen should be like, oh, crap. That's a second game. It's like...
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, Star Citizen does have the multiplayer aspect. So.
Star Citizen does have the $6,000 down payment from all of its players.
Oh, here's $2 million for this capital ship you could just buy out from... I don't know. Anyway.
It might be the biggest scam in history.
What do you think about Starfield? Like,
I'm excited. Actually, after watching that, I was like, ooh.
Did they give a date? I know they pushed it to next year, but did they actually...
I don't...
Probably be cagey about it.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think I just want to invite criticism that is, well, not fanboy, right? So, like, obviously PlayStation automatically hates Starfield because it's an Xbox property now.
Right.
But I also don't want it to be, well, it's Bethesda, so they have to do well. And I think people are wisening up with that. Just, like, look at Cyberpunk and stuff where it's, like, these pedigree, like, look at Anthem and BioWare just fell off the bat. So, I don't know. I hope that Todd Howard could do the game that they wanted to do outside of the like I'm happy they're doing it, right? Like outside of Fallout and Skyrim. It's just that same cycle over and over and over again. Good. Here's a chance to stretch your legs. I'm worried they're like it's too big.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Is what I am.
Yeah. I am too. I'm just voicing like if you want to play one of those.
I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it. I got to be on the train, right?
No Man's Sky.
See what's going on.
No Man's Sky is very good.
I'll never play No Man's Sky.
I know, and it's sad.
Nah.
Yeah.
Not for me. I'm happy.
1,000 planets. So, and No Man's Sky is something like, I mean, there are millions, right? Or whatever, because it's all generated.
Yeah.
I am interested in seeing, like, what is the difference between if you just take a random planet. Because, like, the other thing is they were showing off, like, here's a rocky moon surface that's just gray and drab, and it's like that's your first glimpse of this. Like, how are you not opening your thing to this lush, crazy? Where maybe that's not the type of game.
Maybe they're trying to really subvert expectations.
Yeah, I guess they
get on that rocky moon surface and a giant worm attacks you.
I think all said, it looked like it was sluggish as heck, and I hope that it doesn't play that way.
Like the combat looked kind of boring too.
Yeah.
But it's
like
all
just bullet
about
sponge?
the dialogue options.
Yeah, maybe. But it's
know.
like, I mean, the bullet sponges, the pirates, all
I
that
liked
stuff.
Mass Effect. That didn't have good combat.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
The Mass Effect combat looked more interesting than this, though. It's apples and oranges.
Yeah, a little more dynamic.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little afraid that the enemies looked a little bullet spongy.
Yeah,
they were level 2, and I was like, it's taking the time to kill is a little long, but I guess Fallout's always been like that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I just don't think combat's like necessarily their strong suit.
Oh no, it's a Bethesda combat, but this was their opportunity to maybe improve on that.
Did they? Am I crazy when did they talk about an artifact or something like that? Or like
the whole story hook was like
the moment a game, and this is just me being dumb, but the moment a game mentions the word artifact, I shut down and I could not care less.
Why?
I don't an artifact. Ooh, okay. I don't.
So
care.
You don't like Indiana Jones?
Sure. No. Like I
wow.
No. When I'm talking, that's a true artifact. What I'm saying is like it's this energy thing that's blah blah blah. I don't care. It's been done to death. How many artifacts or orifices or
dude? The MacGuffin is a way to tell a story. I mean, how else are you going to do it?
It's over freaking used, especially in the space area.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Look at Halo. You know, like here's the arc, the artifact, the songstress, or I don't know, whatever, the composer,
the catalyst.
Yeah, I'm just over it, man.
It's Mass Effect.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's gonna be a great game. I'm very excited for it.
We like video games.
We do. Look, I'm like how awesome will it be for you to rub this in my face a year from now whenever it comes out?
Well, I'm not a huge fanboy of it. I'm not like saying this is going to be the greatest game ever.
No, but I'm just like, if it's good,
he made some pretty bold claims. I'm going to play it. Let's see what he's cooking with here.
Here's the best part.
What's the best part?
It's Game Pass. Who cares?
Is it going to be Game Pass?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. That's the
course.
beauty of Game Pass.
Of course.
You have nothing to lose.
You think League of Legends is going to move the needle in the Game Pass era? No. Do you know how many people are going to sign up for Game Pass just for Starfield?
They're not making money from Game Pass.
There's
no way.
They're
bleeding.
They're getting market share. They have to be.
That's why, for me, it's like the end game for them has to be they take over the market and jack up the price.
Well, the crazy thing is
that's the only end game.
Every deal they do is different, too. So it's not like this flat fee of like, oh, put your game on Game Pass and we'll give you X and whatever.
Right.
I'm sure they have like tiers and whatnot, but like
the
it's
whiteboard.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It doesn't matter. It's $10 a month, Tyler.
I know.
It is. Games cost at least $60.
So what? So that's a good conversation. What's your cap? I'd pay
that
$20
I would
for it.
pay.
Yeah, I'd pay $20 for Netflix.
Yeah.
Now I might start. I'd be like, oh, do I actually need Netflix type of thing, and then start picking and choosing.
$20, I'd probably pay for it, but now I'm going to be looking at what games are on there.
Correct, but there you go. And you're telling me that they don't have a clear graph and line of like, here is people's threshold. We're pushing it with the 15. We're giving everyone this stuff. The other thing that we don't talk about with Ultimate on the $15 tier, you're getting Spotify Premium, you're getting all these other little add-ons and extra things from other games too. Like you're getting like coupons to I'm making it like Subway or whatever, like you're getting things.
Refuel for Game Pass.
Yeah, but it's all it's marketing. That's all it is just like this cross-brand.
You don't know anything about marketing.
I know nothing about marketing, but
I just don't think it's going to stay 10 forever.
I don't think so either, but I think the best part about it is the fact that Sony is doing it as well. If Microsoft was by themselves, then they would be able to kind of play a little bit more. The fact that Sony does have, I'm not saying it's good competition, but because they have competition, the problem is Sony seems to be looking a little bit more back. And again,
they have to, dude.
They got to bring on their old catalog.
I think that's smart. But they need to get more games.
It's smart, but not sustainable.
I looked at their catalog for their classic games, and it's not even good.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, you need to really rip out all the PS1 games.
Yeah.
PS2, but I mean, how many games were on PS2, dude? You could swim in that for a while.
I think when push comes to shove, all the people saying how wonderful PlayStation 2 was and all these games and blah 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 blah. Yeah, you might play that for an afternoon.
Doesn't matter, man. You're going to get that nostalgia fix, and you're going to re-up your subscription to PSN or
maybe. Look, man, I have nostalgia for all the Super Nintendo games. I can count on one hand the number of times I launched that on Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like you like the idea of having
Do they have a service for that?
Yeah. That's part of their online thing.
Yeah,
$20 a year.
It sucks.
It's not Xbox or even PlayStation
dude.
for that matter, but yeah.
If you have a good...
Well, it's also a third of the cost, so...
What is?
Nintendo.
$20
$20.
Oh,
for
year.
a year.
Yeah. That is pretty cheap.
And you get the Super Nintendo games.
Yeah.
I think it's an extra 20. I think it's like actually closer to 60 if you want all N64 games. But then they're doing this weird thing where it's like, oh, and you get all the DLC for Animal Crossing and all the tracks for Mario Kart. And
that's cool.
They're giving you extra stuff there.
Yeah.
But,
anyways, speaking of Nintendo games.
Yeah.
I've heard you've been playing one recently.
I've been playing Mario Strike. So I always want to say Super Mario Striker. I think it's Mario Strikers Battle League is the official title.
It's just
the
Mario,
soccer
I
game.
think. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it a lot. And this isn't me just trying to sell you on it because you already said.
Dude, as soon as you told me you have to pay for online, I was out quicker than...
$20, like, that's not that bad.
It's a cheeseburger.
Sure.
Like a nice one.
A very nice one.
Very nice one with a drink, probably.
It's $20. It gets you the game save. It's
Tyler. It's $300 plus the game, which is what, $40?
Well, it's $199 for the
$299.
Oh, so you're getting the TV version. You're not getting the handheld.
I'm not getting either.
Oh, you will. No, you have to.
Why?
Because we have a soccer league. We need to do this thing. Okay, so Mario
you
Strikers.
You have two. Just give me one.
Yeah, well.
So we stop playing inevitably.
Mario Strikers is good in the way that solid mechanics.
Yep.
It's very fun. It's like kind of easy to start, but like the tutorial, it's like it's like maybe like an hour and a half tutorial of.
Oh god.
Well, you don't have to do
Okay.
it. Like it's like, okay, we're gonna talk about passing in this one, and you can just jump in if you want.
Have you played the entire tutorial?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Because there's a lot there that if you're just playing the game, you're not gonna know what's going on. Right. So like sometimes people are flashing. You're like, why are people flashing? Like there are a bunch of different things, but like you have at the base level, you pick your characters.
People are flashing you?
Like flash. No. So if you do like a perfect pass.
So people are flashing.
Flashing. Yeah.
It's two different things.
But it's like
Tyler.
you have your ground pass, your lob pass, and those are your two passes.
Okay.
Right? And you can do a normal one, you can do a charged one, you can do a perfect one. You could do, so it's like all these special button presses, almost like a fighting game type of thing where you're picking and choosing, okay, if I'm shooting or I'm passing like a small guy to a small guy and there's a big dude in the way, it's probably better to do a ground pass because if I lob it, the big guy's just going to grab it and stuff.
Right.
So it's like, it's understanding that. They have like different stat boosts with like, okay, I'm going to wear a bunch of armor. It's fine. I mean, it's like you can min-max guys. So like I have Rosalina as like a god shooter, and the whole team comp is literally just feed the ball to her. She shoots it in the goal and gets it every time. None of that is to say that the game, like you go through 4 cups, 5 cups, and it's like, cool, congratulations, you beat the game. It was like 16 minutes per cup and times 5 cups maybe. I don't know. And like that's the entire game. Once you do that, it's like, now it's hard mode. Okay, cool. The real draw is when you're playing with friends, which is why I keep saying how I want you to play, because I don't have any fans. But we have a few people playing, and we all joined like the Couch Company league. So we have that. And I think it's in 2-3 days now that it opens up the online tournament. So they gave everybody like a week from release to brush up on your game and play it and whatnot. And now you can actually rank up, unlock like different stadiums. So it's like, oh, I want my goalpost to be coins. You can do that technically.
Yeah.
That's what you're working toward. So this is a $60 game. The thing that kind of is the real question is when you think about games like Rocket League. Rocket League's like what, $20? I think
it was 40 when it came out.
When it came out? Okay.
40 when it came out.
I think this is a $40 game if you put it on the same kind of ground as Rocket League, where Rocket League didn't have a single player. There's no story. There's no nothing. It's literally just, here's the game, play with friends, enjoy it.
Yep.
I feel like this is that game.
Rocket League was pretty good.
Rocket League is very good. And this is, I'm not saying this plays like Rocket League, but it's that type of game where like we can all be on the same team.
Yep.
And it's the 4 of us versus another 4.
Yeah. Competitive.
Yeah, I think that you could get very, very good because like you're making your player. Like my player is, I think I made Wario as my guy.
How many people do we need to be on the team?
4. It's 4 on 4.
Oh, so I'm the 4th guy.
You can be. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. Well, technically, the thing is you can have a lot of people in the league. I don't know what the max is, but then you basically have all these people join your league or clan or whatever you want to call it.
So it is a league then. It's not a team. Because
Correct.
when you say league, I view it as, oh, you're going to invite like 20 people and you're starting your own tournament.
It's not, I'm sorry. So it's your, what's the soccer term? Your club. So you make a club.
So your team.
Your team. So it is. You can invite 20 people. I'm making that number up, but you can, let's say you invite 20 people to your team.
Yeah.
Then it'll say, oh, so many out of 20 are online. Pick and choose the 4 that you want. And as you play games online, and I guess
so you can ostracize your best friends.
You could, if you wanted to, yeah.
No, I see.
But you're playing for your club,
and then everyone else is on the bench,
and you're getting that to boost your club ranking up.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool. I think it's cool idea. I know I'm memeing on you right now, but
no, but that's the thing is you need people to play, and if you don't have that, there's not a lot there. Which gets me to my kind of point with Nintendo, where we're starting to see a trend in Nintendo where, hey, we're giving you this game. Oh, you want all the extra add-ons and bonuses and DLC and different things like that? Just pay for the extra online stuff. I'm not saying they're doing that with this, and I think even like Mario Golf, they're putting out some free stuff.
Yeah.
But if you look at something like Mario Kart 8 that has everything in the kitchen sink in it, and it's really good.
Yeah.
This is like I don't think you can strip it down any more than this game. That's a problem for me.
It's too bare bones.
Yes.
Okay.
So like where like stadiums have no like, there's nothing like aside from cosmetic, there's no like, oh, if you're in the haunted mansion, there's a skeleton guy that comes out and you have to worry about him in the field.
Now this is an
like
important point that you bring up here with the stadiums.
Yeah.
So it is very Mario-esque to do something like that, where each stadium has a challenge or some sort of field advantage.
It's all cosmetic.
Now, I think I'd rather be all cosmetic because they did this in Rocket League, where stadiums were different, especially in ranked play.
Yeah.
People hated it.
Yeah.
It sucks because you have to get used to a new stadium. You might hate certain stadiums.
Well, you can turn all that stuff off too. So, for instance, like if you do like a strike mode, so it's basically if you get a power up, you can do like a super goal, and that gives you kind of this like golf swing, like hit the little
timing thing.
Yeah, like hit it on this one and hit it on this one, whatever.
Yeah.
You can turn all that off because if you land that, that's actually 2 points instead of 1 point for goal.
That's not how soccer works.
Right, but it's a way to kind of close the
So
gap.
you join a tournament and the rules are displayed, like if that's turned on or off?
And like I said, the tournaments haven't started yet. I think that's in a couple
I'm
days.
assuming that's probably how it's going to work.
I'm assuming you're... Well, see, that's the thing. I could see it both ways. I'm assuming that the strikes stay on because it's called Mario Strikers. I assume that stays.
Yeah.
I would honestly even assume the gear stays because whenever you select your team, you have an option. Do you put your gear on? So you change your stats slightly. So it's like, oh, I want to be stronger, but I'm going to be slower because of it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have an option to put the gear on and change your stats slightly or just take the gear off and have your base stats. There might be a purist mode. We'll find out in a couple days. But
so there's 4 people on the team?
Correct. Yep.
Like 4 players on the field in the game.
There's 4 players per side. So it would be... Bless you. So your allergies got to be killing you right now, right?
Yep.
Sorry, buddy. It's 4 players on like your team and you're going up against theoretically another club.
Is
and,
one of the players a goalie?
No. So it's 4 players on the field and then one, like your goalie is your computer.
Do you get to pick the goalie character?
No, the goalies are the same. So it's like that big turtle boss from 3, I think, the sub castles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool. Like the animations, awesome. The character, the way they look, the personalities and everything are fantastic. Like it's really, really well done. Everything about it is good. It's just if you don't have if you don't have a group of 4, and it doesn't even have to be 4. If you don't have 3 players, 2 players, whatever. If you don't have someone to play with, there is very, very little there to do anything with.
Yeah.
And to the point of, I don't really like controlling a whole team. That's just not... I would much rather be that one guy. And very much like Rocket... Imagine playing Rocket League and you have to like jump between the different cars.
That'd be horrific, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Not to that level of like frustration, but I would much rather be like, okay, I'm going to be a bruiser. I'm going to be Wario. I'm always going to be bumping into dudes and just trying to feed like, you the ball. And like, you're always going to be like the striker and you're, like.
Really trying to sell me.
No, but I'm just saying that's the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like you really kind of learn your team and you gel with your team and then you take your skills and go in ranked. And like, that's the draw. It's just you have to have a group that buys into it.
Yep. No, it's just like Rocket League. I mean, it's the same premise. Yeah, I think what's more interesting is, finding out what your main is, right? Like what character you jive with and what kind of role you want to play on the team. Which is a little different than Rocket League.
And it's pretty self-explanatory. Like Rocket League had similar things, right? Like there's the smaller cars or the big like vans and stuff like that.
Not to that
maybe
extent,
a little
though.
bit
I'm
more
sure.
Pronounced.
Yeah, so I'm sure that characters have different
because
abilities.
Like if you, and it's actually funny because if you have Toad, who's like, it's Toad, right? Little guy.
Yeah.
If he's not fully charged for like a tackle, if you try to like hit Bowser just runs right through him.
That's
and
amazing.
It's hilarious. And like the animations are so good. And like if you score a goal, like Waluigi kind of like puts his arms out, like what the heck happened? Like I was just about to get there. Like it's so expressive. It's so good. But yeah, I don't know. Like I would love to get a full team and play that just to see. It's like, okay, how does this play? Like, it's 8 players. So technically, if you had 8 controllers, which I don't know how you'd have 8 controllers on one Switch, but you could, 8 people could play that game on one screen, and it works because everybody it's the entire field. You can
It's the
see
same
it.
perspective, no matter. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents. It's a very good game. Ideally would be $40. But again, totally worth it if you have the friends to play with.
Right. No, yeah. So that should be exciting when those tournaments start.
Yeah, I mean, we have a full team technically, so we can do it. It's just a matter of getting everyone on at the same time.
That is always the rub.
Yeah.
Anyways.
What about you?
What about me? I've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy. I started, which you've been telling me to play for a while. Pretty fun. It actually looks really nice.
Yeah.
With ray tracing and everything like that.
You went with the ray tracing, huh?
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
I don't know. I mean, it's performance hit, so I assume your rig can just eat it.
I'm at like 80 to 90 frames.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So it looks real good. Maybe heavier areas are like 75, but it looks really good.
Yep.
But yeah, it does cook I was telling you today, it gets pretty hot when it's running.
Did you get into the rhythm? I don't know how far you are in the game, but like combat wise, is it like starting to click on?
Oh, I cranked that sucker on super easy, and I'm just noobing on fools.
It was a surprise for me when I played that how much I loved it, and I
never played it because like I saw Avengers,
yeah,
and that was horrific.
Yes. So
I was like, oh, so Disney's just trying to pump out all this shit, and then you played it and really liked it, and now I took a look, and yeah, it's a lot of love and care was put into this. Like, this is actually a good video game.
I find it interesting how much dialogue there is.
Oh yeah.
Even if you're going off the beaten path, they'll like your team comments constantly. Borderline too much, but like I feel like if you're just in a world with them, yeah, they'd be talking constantly. Like that's just how you are.
Yeah, especially those personalities, right? Like
right.
That dynamic. I think you're exactly right. It is a little bit too much, right? Too sometimes because I'll continue past the point and then cut off in the middle and something else happens, and I wanted them to finish their thought. So I've found that that's happening too much because I'm pushing forward constantly. So I think there's an art to creating dialogue and having enough time for you to get point A to point B, assuming the player's going straight there.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to stand there and listen to the conversation. I guess that's what they envision. And maybe some people do, but I always want to have that sense of progression, keep moving. So if you can have this cool dialogue and funny dialogue while I'm moving throughout the world, even if you have to make it a little bit longer, I think that's totally fine because I do like the banter and everything. It's really cool.
Yeah. And it goes places. Like it's very... Well, I can't even say because I don't know where exactly.
I'm pretty early. I'm at like chapter 4, so I just Groot is like a monster. He's in a cage. We sold him, sure. So we're trying to get him back.
Yeah.
So pretty early on, but yeah, some of the first planet, beautiful, looked really cool.
Yep.
It's just a fun game. A lot of choices, dialogue options. That's all I need.
Yep.
Well, I was about to text you one day. I was like, Tyler, I think like all I need in games is the ability to bang aliens. I think that might be my problem. Well, I'm trying to connect the dots between my favorite games, and it all comes back to hot aliens that you can bang. So it's like, what am I doing here? Like, is this saying a lot about me, or? But no. In all actuality, I do like the decisions you have to make. Where, like I had Drax throw Rocket Raccoon across the.
Oh, you did?
Cassie. I was like, fuck it. Yeah, send him.
Did he actually throw him?
Yeah, he actually did.
See, I didn't do that. I did
so he was like pissed off for the rest of the level. And so actually on the second bridge, I am assuming there's an option where he could do it. And then he's like refused. He's like, nope, fuck you. And I was like, all right, I deserve this. So I had to go the long way. And I was like, worth. Yeah. So it was cool. So little things like that I like and everything.
I would. So the problem is that game is like a 30-hour game. Right? If you're
really
like, it's very long. I was very thorough looking for stuff, and I maybe found like 60% of the stuff. Like it's kind of nuts how much they crammed into that game. And I think towards the end, it did get a little like, okay, I just want to see the end at this point. Like I'm kind of tired of the combat. Combat's good. It's simple, but it's good.
It's not the focus of the story. So like in games like that where it's a narrative experience, the combat just has to be passable, and at least right now it is.
Yeah.
Especially since I put it on easy. I couldn't imagine playing it on hard.
It gets
Things are
better.
super bullet spongy.
Yeah.
But yeah, on easy where I'm like cooking through people, and it's not like super easy. Like I get hit and stuff, and it does. I don't kill them instantly, but in a game like this, I knew immediately. I'm like, okay, I'm not here for the challenge.
Yeah.
I want the narrative experience. I want all that. So I want to see what the story is.
By the end, it will really you get into a rhythm, which is good. It's just, it's around the Mass Effect-esque type of like.
I think it's a little more like floaty than Mass Effect. Like obviously more movement, which is keeps you a little bit more engaged. Like I feel like in Mass Effect you're pinned to a wall and you're kind of
it's
just
not cover
shooting
based.
gallery kind of deal. So I like that. I love the team special where he quotes some sort of 80s rock song.
And his songs are great.
Fantastic soundtrack. Yeah, love it. So I'm really liking it so far. I'm enjoying it. But I'm early, so
I'm excited for you to finish that thing because that keeps going. It just keeps going.
Yeah. So I actually might like these guys better than the movie.
That's what I was saying last night.
Yeah.
I absolutely do.
It seemed, I don't know if maybe they went more faithful to the comics because you obviously can, right? You can make it more like that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Drax isn't as funny. But he's more...
But you take him more serious.
Yeah, right? Like, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, I feel like he's totally memed on in the Marvel cinematic universe because he was, like, kind of serious in the beginning. They're like, fuck that. Like, Marvel has a formula where they... If a character's too serious and people don't like them, they just make them comical.
Yep.
And then people love them. So we saw that with Drax. We saw that with Thor. Yeah, exactly. So... in this, like Drax is still the same, like completely oblivious to subtleties of conversation and everything, like takes everything extremely literally.
Yeah.
But he does seem a little more serious, and
he's and you'll get this later on in the game too, but he's a more consistent like attitude, which is funny. So like as the game progresses, all the characters evolve, which every good game does, but his attitude isn't this wild thing of like he doesn't understand sarcasm here or takes everything super literally, but then also uses sarcasm or stuff in other places. So the video game version of him seems pretty consistent and level, and you can count on him to say certain things or have a certain attitude, and I really, really appreciate that. Yeah. And he has a good arc. Everyone has, like,
he's
really
ripped,
good.
dude. He's ripped.
Yeah. Yeah.
This dude's fucking ripped.
Yep. Dude,
Batista's got to get on
picking
that.
up like giant, like boulders.
Wait, who does Drax in the movies?
Batista.
Okay, okay. I was like, was that who it was? I didn't want to
Batista
misquote.
was like, I have a couple more years till everything just sags. He's like, we just got to get this done.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's been going well.
That's awesome.
Been playing Forza.
Naturally, yeah.
Dude, I was on Forza before Kyle got on. He's like, oh man, this game's really got you. I'm like, dude, it's the monthly unlock. As a car guy,
yeah.
When you see the new pretty car you can unlock every month,
right? It's
like, fuck, I gotta do all these challenges.
Do you have any interest in going into Flight Simulator and flying the Pelican from Halo?
Zero.
That was one thing we didn't mention. That was hilarious. I was like, oh, okay.
Although they showed you can go in space, which is
like that's
wild.
It's just like, oh, hey, by the way, here's this
space. Yeah. Here's the atmosphere.
Cool.
Are you gonna do it?
So
maybe I'll boot. I mean, why not? I have fucking Game Pass. I can just boot it up.
I don't want to download.
I don't want to download.
Again. That's the problem. It's very long.
I'm gonna download it for 10 minutes of like, oh, that was cool.
Yep, I got
uninstall
Bye.
Forever. Yeah. Yeah. I guess the only other thing we should talk about is we started playing. We just a first look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah. What'd you think about that?
I was loving it.
I know. Yeah.
It hit the nostalgia bone for me. Like I'm fully aware.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a quality game. Like it looks good, plays good. I felt it felt good. Seems like it's going to be very repetitive, but that's intentional in my mind.
We did the medium, like just normal mode. I died plenty of times. I get murdered all the time.
Same. Well, I was playing on mouse and keyboard, so I was really having a rough go of it.
You're doing that. I thought it was good. I almost feel like we should have just done arcade and just blew through it that way. Because
I think we should play with 4 and just do arcade.
Yeah.
Now that we got a sense of like here's the story and whatever.
Just like blow through it
Yep.
and enjoy it.
They said it's like probably like
2 hours.
2
or something
hours.
Like that, yeah.
So I say we just sit down and do that.
I mean, we got through a decent amount. Like, we had to be at least
level
halfway through the game.
6.
Yeah.
I said I thought there was like 14 or 15 levels.
Yeah.
Is what I heard. I thought, but
That seems like such a, again, it's well made.
Yep.
It's good. I don't think the UI is perfect. Like, I feel like there's a lot of questions because like we unlocked some newspapers or whatever, and it's like, cool, what'd that get us?
points.
Okay, what are the points? I guess you level up. And
Well, in the home base, it tells you like 500 points is like a life, and
yeah, so I guess it's just consistent. points
yeah,
then.
it would be nice. It was like, oh, you're 50 points away from the new unlock,
Yeah,
which
I mean,
is this.
Sure,
right?
just
Yeah,
something.
something.
But it was fine. I thought it was
good.
really good. It was fun. It was cool to do different levels, and
It's very faithful to the arcade games, which I thought was awesome.
I almost wonder, like, is it overplayed? Like, do we need I understand they were trying to harken back to the old arcade games where it is very pixelated and pixel art, but do we need that, or could you have done like actual like sprite, like almost like take the cartoons, like solid line, like black line, and like actually make the cartoons versus have them?
I'm
pixel
sure they
versions?
could. I think I personally like the pixel versions because it's
I
very
didn't
nostalgic.
dislike it. I was just curious on like,
And I think it looks good. I think they did it in a clean way where it looks good, and I don't know. I enjoyed it. It seemed like I was definitely more excited for this than you because I have maybe a little bit more nostalgia.
Yeah,
for
I was never big
the
into
turtles,
the turtles.
but so yeah, I hit all the right notes for me at least. I like the soundtrack so far. It's really cool.
I do, the next time we play, would like to change up my character just to see if like,
Yeah.
does it feel different when you play someone else? Because I think we had like slightly different moves, but overall it seemed like we were doing kind of the same things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah, no, that was a fun time.
yeah, we'll finish it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Anyways, we do have a couple polls.
Yeah, man, we are jam packed.
We asked the audience about this week, and we got some interesting answers. So on Tuesday, if you don't know, by the way, we do polls every week at Couchcode Games,
Yeah.
twitter.com. Follow us on there, man. We like to hear from you guys. Polls every week, usually Tuesday through Thursday. Different themes, video games, questions about food, preferences, things like that, all over the place. So if you have an opinion, let us know. On Tuesday, it was the final round of the best Star Wars game conversation, or polls, I should say. Trying a new format. So what I did the week prior was every day was 4 different Star Wars games, and the winner of each of them went up against each other on Tuesday. So we had Knights of the Old Republic, Fallen Order, and Bounty Hunter, which was very surprising. That it was these 3. Now, I understand, and some people were commenting on this, that the matchups, maybe they would have spread them out more, but it was randomized. So if you want to be the best Star Wars game, it shouldn't be a problem, right?
Yeah, you either are or you aren't.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right. So that's my philosophy. You're going to have to beat the best of the best, in my mind. So
do you want an easy matchup up front or at the end?
At the end,
like,
exactly, right. So I don't know. Anyways, so Knights of the Old Republic, Fallen Order, Bounty Hunter, and we actually had a tie. Between Knights of the Old Republic and Fallen Order.
Wow.
Fallen Order went way farther than I ever thought it was going.
Do you think that's just because it's the most? It's like the newest one.
Might be the recency bias,
Just the
for sure.
modern.
If I had to vote on this, and I never vote on the polls, I would give it to Knights of the Old Republic. I think
Just from the prestige. You mean
the prestige? Well, I played the games.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
and they were fantastic. Narrative experiences. They had dialogue options, so immediately
Can bang aliens.
it checks all of my boxes, Tyler.
It's
so.
all 3 boxes.
I liked Fallen Order quite a bit. It was a fun game. I thought the combat was very interesting. I thought the story wasn't bad either. I thought I forget what his name is.
It had a great opening. I remember that.
Oh yeah, the opening, the train.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good looking game. I thought it was cool. Especially the end was really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't think it hit the same level as Knights of the Old Republic. Knights of the Old Republic is a pretty legendary game, I would say, in terms of the community as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, like they're. Yeah, I still don't know. Are they actually?
I don't know. I thought it was a third one, but it might be a remake.
I think it's a remake.
I think it's the third one.
It's enough for them to continue it.
Yes.
Versus Fallen Order of like, okay,
the Fallen Order has a sequel. Yeah.
They do, but I guess what I'm saying is like Fallen Order, it's not there yet. You're not going to know how long the legs of it are. Like,
right.
I don't like because it's a Souls like.
Yeah, but it didn't feel unfair to me.
No, not to that extent.
Yeah.
I don't like, okay, we'll sit at a campfire and it resets the level type of thing.
Oh, yeah. I always am annoyed by that because I want to heal, but then I'm going to have to fight, so it doesn't really matter, right? Because like, you respond everyone. So I get that.
I'm very in the camp of Force Unleashed over Fallen Order in terms of gameplay.
Just go
like,
wild.
I want crazy force powers.
Yep.
I want to feel like a god. I want my lightsaber to cut through everything. But it seems like everything and its mother is resistant to lightsabers anymore. So just like, okay.
Yeah, you want to just one hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Kill everyone.
Yep.
Yeah. I think in Star Wars, that's the way to go as well.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a Jedi, right? You're supposed to be just cracked out of your mind.
Yeah.
Versus like, especially stormtroopers, like they shouldn't stand a chance. Now, I mean, the stormtroopers are pretty easy to take down in Fallen Order, I'd say, but they can get you.
Yeah.
Especially when if they team up on you. Yeah. So
there's a reason why there aren't many Jedi out there.
Bounty Hunter, definitively the third best Star Wars game of all time, beating the likes of Lego Star Wars, Battlefront, all those.
I never played Bounty Hunter. I feel like there is given the Mandalorian, there is definitely a Bounty Hunter game somewhere in that TV show that they could do.
Oh yeah. Maybe this is an interesting case study. Now obviously it was matchup dependent. Like Bounty Hunter was going up against I don't even remember what the games were. It was like
Star Wars Galaxies.
No, Galaxies was in the second one.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, Galaxies got the short end of the stick because it went up against like Knights of the Old Republic and Lego Star Wars.
It was going up against Jedi Power Battles and Star Wars Demolition.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter was going up against the trash can end of things.
Whatever.
But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So there it is. I don't know how you felt about that. I would say let us know if you like the feedback. You know, you can comment on one of our tweets. Let us know if you like that style. I think it was interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good to see kind of like it makes me want now that EA doesn't own the license, or not the license, but like they're not the only ones putting Star Wars games out. Like let's see what else is out there.
Explore.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I might explore a little bit more with maybe multiple rounds.
Cool.
Maybe I'll do something like this where I theorize what I think the most popular is, because of course I'll always be surprised, and make seeds so that we can have the best games go up against the worst games in the first round, so you can see your favorites get to the end. Maybe, I don't know, I'll have to find a way to do that, but
to make the entire internet happy, of course. That's
I strive to make our fans happy.
Easy.
Would you rather Wednesday? Would you rather die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain? Classic question. It was narrow.
That's surprising.
In this one, which was very surprising. On Twitter, it was it was pretty cut and dry, but with everything encompassed, it was very narrow, and villains squeaked it out. By one.
Don't die.
I understand that, but here's the question I pose to you. So I'm saying you're a villain, but are you going to encompass what that means? Like, okay, you get to live, but now you have to be a scumbag, horrible person.
I guess it depends on what level you're talking.
Batman level.
Okay, so I'm Two-Face.
Yeah.
I'd still want to live.
Two-Face kills a lot of people.
Yeah, he's
not
a
good guy. No.
Yeah.
And he has two faces.
Also not great. I feel like so here's the thing. If I'm like hideously deformed like that, then you're starting to get into a weird territory of like, all right, maybe I just...
Oh my God. That got dark.
Yeah. I guess he doesn't, he dies. Yeah.
Yeah. So you obviously voted for...
I didn't vote. I didn't vote.
Oh, you didn't vote on this one?
Uh-huh. I'm trying to not sway...
I always like seeing your votes on this.
I will vote for Star Wars Galaxies. And
of course.
And if I think a poll is going in a dramatically unhinged direction...
You'll break a tie?
Yeah.
So did you vote for the Star Wars one?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I don't think I voted for anything this week, actually.
I see.
No, I did. I voted for the last one. But go on.
Okay, yeah. I'd probably, as much as I would want to say I want to die the hero, there's a lot of factors. At what age am I dying the hero?
Yeah.
If it's right now, no.
I don't want to die.
If it's like 15 years from now, I'm like 40. We're having a conversation about
ancient,
dying. Not ancient. That 40 is in the middle of your life.
Sure.
I would die 40 and be the hero.
What would you like? Are there things that are you talking like get a cat out of a burning building? Or are you talking like what level of hero are we talking? Like help an old lady cross the street and you get hit by a car, but
okay, so here's how you balance this pool. Ready for this? This is a brilliant idea by me.
All right.
If I do say so myself.
Yeah.
So the level of heroism needs to somehow correlate with the villainness you have to be. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So, and then you pick one or the other, but it has to be on the same level. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So does it make sense where it's like, if it's an incredible feat you're picking versus, and you die versus, what would
Something
it make more sense?
absolutely heinous.
No, wouldn't it make more sense if it's not that bad?
I don't know.
Because the incentive is you want to do something amazing when you're the hero. So you have more incentive to pick that. And the incentive of the villain is, okay, I don't have to be that bad as the villain, correct? Like that's what will make me want to pick this more.
Yeah, I think the spirit of the quote though is eventually.
So let me flip it around for you.
Like you're always going to become bad. Like
I understand that. But let me flip it around for you. So to make it the same, it has to be opposite in terms of, so if you want to be the hero and you like you said, you save a cat and die or whatever, then on the flip side, it has to be like a villain, but you have to be like horrific. Because those are bad. Those are both horrible. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't think I am.
Okay, so if you're dying the hero and it's not that great, you're going to probably want to pick the villain side. To incentivize you for it to be a closer one, you're going to have to be a terrible, horrible villain.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're trying
to make it balanced.
You're trying to make it.
So it has to be opposites. If it's not a great deed, dying a hero, you have to be a fucking monstrous villain if you live.
I just don't want to die. That's all.
All right, well then you're villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully someone recognized what I was trying to say there.
Yeah, I mean, again, with the main thing of like, okay.
So if I'm going to save the world as a hero, that's awesome.
Sure.
I think that incentivizes a lot of people to want to pick that. So if that's the top tier dying as a hero, I save the world. Now as a villain, I have to, I don't know, be maybe not murder people, but be like a scumbag villain that steals things and stuff.
Yeah, or
not
it's,
that,
or
not
it's
as
saying
bad.
like, yeah, you saved the world. Everyone was super grateful for you.
Yeah.
But then eventually your search history came out and it's all just banging aliens, and somehow no one likes that.
Well,
and
I'm not necessarily ashamed. How does that make me a villain?
I don't know. It doesn't. I'm just saying, like, the villain is the villain's a strong word. Hero's a strong word.
Yeah.
Right. It's the idea that everyone's inherently evil. It's just a matter of what, how
reining
long
it in
until like if you die.
Yeah.
And now granted with the age of the internet and whatever, who knows? But theoretically you have like this gets dark. If you die, you have less chance of screwing up.
Yeah.
And becoming
well, this is an interesting idea.
Public,
I mean,
right?
This is something that's explored in all like mob movies. Since I was talking about The Sopranos,
Sure.
like you have these characters like Tony Soprano's dad who dies fairly early, and then they're remembered in this fondness because they didn't see themselves become weak and old, especially in that kind of environment.
Yeah,
you have a lot of these characters that like are getting old and weak, and then nobody respects them, and they're making these mistakes, and then their reputation's ruined. But you're dying young, and you're remembered fondly.
Yeah. So it's
even though it might not be accurate, right?
So even if you pare it back and you're not like this really good person, really evil person, would you rather die early in life,
be remembered
well, or die late in life,
not be remembered well,
or not even well, but just not remembered?
Well, no, you're a villain, so you're remembered specifically poorly.
Sure. I know. I'm trying to.
Well, in your circumstance, it's more likely that people would want to live. But I'm talking about the reason why this is a hard choice is because it's all legacy based.
Yeah. Well,
when you're gone, eventually you're going to be remembered as a hero,
right,
or a villain in this particular question.
Sure.
Which is,
but let's put it this way: would you rather lose? So let's you threw the number out 40. So would you rather have a solid 40 years and you lose essentially, let's call it half your life?
Yeah.
Would you rather lose half your life and have a legacy, or would you rather have your whole life and have zero legacy?
Half my life legacy, 100%.
See, and I'm the opposite.
Yeah, because you're a coward.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a coward.
Because, man, dude, getting old sucks. Why would I want to get old? Things start hurting. What am I preserving?
I mean, I don't know. I just want to see
legacy is forever.
I am so fascinated with what's going to be 10 years from now. Like just the technology and everything. Like I'm curious. I want to be around for it. I want to see. Do we ever get to space? Do we ever find anyone? You know, like out, aliens and stuff. Like I
bang them, maybe.
Yeah. Well, not you. You're gonna be dead at 40.
Dude, you said 10 years.
We're not gonna find aliens in 10 years.
15?
No.
Okay, then
it's gonna be at least we find them in So I take it back. We might find them in 10. We torture them for another 5. Eventually,
they might torture us.
They might torture us.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that the government covers all that up, and we don't know anything about that.
Dude, something that big seems impossible to cover up.
You would think, but I think we do not give governments and cabals enough credit.
I mean, we nuked Japan. You can't cover that up. That's one of the biggest events, if not the biggest event to happen up until that point in human civilization, in modern human civilization.
Try to cover it up,
right? Why wouldn't they? That's heinous and horrific. If they could cover it up, I'm sure they would have, right? Wouldn't you want to?
I don't know. I feel like that's a lot of propagandist.
Or maybe they want everyone to see. I don't know.
About World War II to.
That's why you should watch Band of Brothers.
Yeah, it's full circle. Got it.
Speaking of aliens, we had quite a hefty matchup for our Thursday night bout.
Yeah.
And it is the Empire reigning champions over the Covenant, which I still think is closer than people let on. Mm-hmm. Just going to let that sit for a second. And then this week they're up against the Zerg from StarCraft.
Yeah.
I know little to nothing about the Zerg, so it's all you on why the Zerg absolutely annihilate this battle.
They don't.
Not the audience thinks different.
I know they do.
We need a Zerg expert on. I thought you were going to come to bat for the Zerg.
No, I did read up on the Zerg. Like, look, the Zerg are scary. I'm not saying they aren't scary.
But they have technology, too. They're not just parasites.
Kind of. Like, they kind of have technology.
Okay.
Do they have technology to, like, knock out the Empire? I don't know about that. Like, I don't think a Zerg, let's say a capital ship, because I don't know the right terminology. Like, I don't think they get through like plasma shields and different things. Like so much of that is physical, right? So like now ground war, yeah, I think they have a shot at just completely overwhelming stormtroopers and everything else for sure.
Right.
Even Vader is going to get overwhelmed.
That's what I'm saying.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Although I will say, and this is kind of not to spoil anything, but Obi-Wan Episode 5. Vader does some cool stuff.
Vader might be the strongest part of that army.
I will tell you off air because I don't want to spoil it. What he does in episode 5, and it's just cool.
Yeah,
and it's real good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Vader's the best part of.
I might actually, depending on when we wrap this, I might actually show you like a 3-minute clip. But
Vader is the best part of the Star Wars.
Well, I put a lot of stock in. Oh yeah, I agree. I put a lot of stock in Death Stars. So, I mean, Zerg have 100. So the first thing I looked up was how many planets do the Zergs have?
Yeah.
So it's like 100 planets. So I think a lot of it determines like, okay, do the Zergs actually have 100 planets?
Do they just eat people or do they take over people?
Yeah, they burrow in the ground. So like if they're, and again, this is all just from internet, so take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
If they're like taking over a planet, they launch like burrows and stuff. So like they'll burrow into the ground and stuff. So
they launch these kind of eggs
in infestation type things that
and they can launch it from planet to planet.
I don't know from planet to planet. Like it's more of like
they have ships and shit.
Yeah, and then you go to planet.
So they could theoretically launch shit into the Death Star.
Well, so technically, but planets don't have. It's not like planets had deflector shields on. So if a Death Star, now you have your plasma shield on. Oh, okay. And they just
Death Star has a plasma shield?
Yeah.
No.
They have shields.
I don't think they were shooting the Death Star. Like
the whole point of who had to get the shield down from like even putting Death Stars away, right?
Okay.
Like all of the Star Destroyers definitely have deflector shields. So it's like at what point can they just not penetrate the shield. Now, again, if you're talking ground war, all the shields don't matter if they're
Right.
burrowing underground
Right.
and popping up and killing things and things
Big
like that.
advantage on the ground.
Right. So knowing how
Just absolutely annihilating AT-ATs.
but knowing how, well, even that, it's like
You burrow underground.
sure.
I mean, it collapses. You know what I'm saying?
I think an AT-AT beats like Zerglings. Like they're all
Well,
like
what's
little.
the big unit? I don't know anything about StarCraft. I was really
Yeah.
banking on you
No,
telling me you want to play StarCraft all the time, and
I do
now I
wanna
give
play
you a
StarCraft.
chance
I always play as the Protoss, though. I never played
to
as
convince
Zerg.
me. Are the Protoss stronger than the Zerg? Is that going to spark a whole dumpster fire?
Yes, they are.
So I should have picked the Protoss.
That would be a good one. I think the Protoss beat Empire.
Yeah, I should
Just
have
'cause I think they have
I should
higher
have asked
technology.
you which army do you play so you can defend it.
Yeah, I know Zerg's good, but Zerg is very close to the Covenant. I think Zerg Covenant would be interesting because then
How are they close to the Covenant? Because they're purple.
Zerg is very Zerg
Fucking
is
racist?
Zerg is very close to.
They're
like,
swarmy.
The Flood.
I don't think
the
the-
Flood's swarmy.
The Flood is not the Covenant.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is, like,
I don't think the Covenant's necessarily swarmy.
But what I'm saying is, if the Covenant got overrun by the Flood, then
Dude, the Empire
Zerg
would lose to the Flood instantly.
I don't think it does. I don't think they.
You
do.
don't think they lose the
Flood?
No,
you can't penetrate.
no.
If they so let me put it this way:
The
If they
USNC
penetrated-
has shields and shit.
Nah,
And the Flood gets them because they fucking take over people. They're
because they walked
what's it
in,
called?
they didn't know. Like, oh,
parasites.
what's this? Oh no,
They're parasites.
Yeah.
You don't win. All of your men that you were fighting with become their men,
I just think that people
and they can shoot and they can,
I
you know,
just think
act.
you underestimate like the Emperor isn't going to. Oh, this world was taken over by the Zerg. Okay, destroy it. You just blow up that planet.
How many planets does it take before
100.
you're out of? That's what I'm saying. He's gonna go around blowing up 100 planets.
Yeah. Why
yeah.
not? You think that's going to be like a rebellion thing?
The Zerg have space capabilities, obviously, so the
Sure.
Zerg can come to the Empire.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, I think
I need a
when it-
Zerg expert.
Yeah, well,
I need a Zerg
I'm
expert.
Sure their
I just
research
can't make the
department
argument.
can do it.
I'm sure there's some fucking crazy shit that they could do because, dude, it was almost 2-1 Zerg.
Yeah, I know. I think,
And there's a lot of Star Wars fans voting in these polls.
I just think when it comes to space battles, the Empire wins, and I think that ultimately everything will like
Devolve
You
into
just
space?
leave the Earth. Like, who cares? You just go into
Everything can't devolve into space because at some point you have to own planets.
Okay, but then
especially
put-
for the
put-
Empire because you need resources and shit
Put
like
a
that.
shield around the planet. So you put a shield around the
Should've put a
planet.
shield around the planet.
Yeah, of course, I had a shield around the planet.
Hoth had a shield around the planet, but that was like it took them forever.
Well, it wasn't the whole planet.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, like, all you need to do is shield. I'm sure you put your mind to it. You could shield a planet. You put the
It's a
shield.
big ask.
You shield the planet. You stop the infestations. Now, what do the Zerg do? They have these kind of like
I don't think you can do that.
mamby-pamby ships. They're all organic ships, aren't they?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have
either.
no idea, dude.
I just assume like.
All right, here's what I need. I need someone who's listening to this who's very passionate about the Zerg.
Didn't Calvin already give like a detailed?
Calvin never played StarCraft, did he?
I don't know. I thought he already gave us like a detailed like account
Rundown of Zerg.
Maybe it was just the Covenant ships. I
It
don't
was
know.
Covenant.
Sure.
He went Covenant. I know our research department's a big Star Wars guy.
I just
Or,
think that-
Halo guy.
If you have the Sith coming in, you have
Did we get any comments on
Palpatine,
this?
which apparently can like.
All right, I need one of two things to happen. Someone needs to go on our poll, which was last Thursday for you guys listening to this right now. Give me a detailed explanation on why the Zerg wiped the floor with the Empire. Or you can go even better. You can go on to couchcompany.games
Yeah.
on Anchor and leave us a message, a voice message. If you'd rather articulate
Sure.
it with a voice message rather than
You
typing
get
it all
60
out.
seconds. I don't think that's enough time to explain.
60 seconds. 60 seconds is a decent amount of
Yeah,
time.
all right.
A minute.
I just don't see it. I don't know.
Well, someone needs to tell me because the Zerg won
Like
handedly.
Force lightning alone. Like
Handedly
the
won.
Zerg can't even handle
Just
fire.
telling you the facts, Tyler. They voted for Zerg.
I know. I think.
Wait, I thought Star Wars was going to win just because I know that a lot of people who listen are Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, the Empire is probably going to have a reign for a while here until I can figure out something. I did not think Zerg was going to win this.
Zerg's not that good.
They're better than the Empire. Confirmed by our
Right.
audience. So you're either saying our audience is wrong and stupid.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one.
Fair. Fair enough. All right, so stay tuned next week while the Zerg tried to take on someone else or some other army.
You punched real high, real quick. I don't even know.
I thought about that, and I think I'm I'm thinking of a way to get out of it. But
All right.
I'm thinking maybe if a certain army or whatever wins X number of weeks in a row, I might retire them and put them in a little Hall of Fame.
Sure.
I'm trying to figure out what that number is. 3, 5?
Yeah, probably.
I gave you 2 options, so
I would say 3.
all right. So stay tuned next week at Couch Code Games.
Yep.
Vote on our polls.
Yeah.
And if you're passionate about something, leave us a comment so I can tell us why.
Yeah, please
they won.
explain to me
How the Zerg beat the Empire.
Zerg rationale.
Look, I'm all on board for the Zerg. I just don't know why they win.
Yeah, I just think that the swarmy aliens they're overrated.
I think the Swarm is a good matchup against the Empire.
I think you just
Now they have the Death Star, but I think once
up,
once the Swarm gets to the Death Star, once it infiltrates the Death Star, you're done. I mean, you're literally
build it.
trapped on
Yeah,
a ball of
no.
space.
I get all that. What I'm saying is if the Empire put all of its resources on turtling up,
Yeah.
the Zerg would not penetrate that defense. They would just not do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Sure.
All right. So we have a couple more things today.
Yeah. We got it. This is a long one.
This is a long one.
All right. Can we take a quick break? Because
Yes.
I drank like 2 of these iced teas and
Yeah.
all right.
Let's take a break. We'll be back with our second half. Okay.
All
We are
right.
back and we deliberated.
Yes.
We are going to jump into the top 5.
Ta-da!
And as we alluded to last week, we do have sound effects for this, by the way. As we alluded to last
Yeah,
week.
I should learn the sound effects. What does this do?
What did it do?
Apparently nothing. There's a rim shot, but I had the volume turned all the way down.
Excellent.
All right.
Fantastic start to this top 5.
There we go.
Yep. We're going to be doing top 5 Greek gods.
Yes.
Rules.
They do rule.
You're up on the rules.
Well, I think
What are the rules?
that's this one where we need to talk through some stuff. So, turns out all these Greek gods are bad, largely.
Yeah.
They are very incestuous and rapey, and like they do some bad things. So when we're talking about ranking them, I feel a little weird saying like I'm making this up, but like, oh, Zeus is number 1 god, right? Like, let's say he hits number 1, but he like is a terrible thing, not person, but he's like he constantly is like killing humans and being unfaithful to his wife, and then his wife is murdering humans, and
Yeah.
so we'll still rank them. I don't know how we're ranking them. Like, I know we talked through Hades, we talked through like Hercules, and like all these different like incarnations of these gods. Do we try to like maybe make them a little bit more? Hey, let's pretend they didn't do bad stuff, or how do you want to? I guess how do you want to approach this so we don't seem like we're
Thinking about it, like, this guy's pretty cool.
like
Yeah, he
has
cheated on his
cool
wife,
powers.
but, whatever.
Zeus gets around.
Zeus definitely gets around. I mean, we'll talk about it.
It's like, how many moons are there? All right, hold my beer. We'll make that many children to.
Well, dude, this guy, I mean, the gods on Olympus wouldn't be there without him.
True. Yeah.
Dude was like, yeah.
Are we just
gonna take
jumping
down-
in? We'll talk.
Well, I
through
don't know.
Zeus-
I mean, what other
talk
roles do
through
you
Zeus.
have?
No, I think that's
So,
fine.
I mean,
are
we're
we
not
doing,
condoning their activity.
Yeah,
but
okay. Well, I just wanted to be very clear up front with that, where it's like, hey, don't.
It's like our other lists where it's like, I don't know, we had characters like Kratos.
the best version of. everyone. No, that's fair.
We had
All right.
Kratos on the list. And
Yeah.
he's murdered 1 million people.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
bad guy.
Okay.
Trying to redeem himself, arguably, but I don't, but he's a good character. I think same thing here. Who's our favorite characters?
Okay. And now, so because I have maybe not extensive knowledge on a lot of that stuff, the two things, like a lot of it's from video games, and
Yeah.
so it's like Hades and God of War are the top 2 games that I've played that include these. God of War, everyone's just terrible and Kratos is just murdering everyone.
Pretty much more accurate to the
Yeah, right.
Greek mythology, probably.
Hades,
But yeah.
Hades is interesting because a lot of them are like largely nice-ish or they're cordial or whatever.
Yeah, no, Hades is a poor representation of what the mythos actually
so this will
is.
be an interesting list considering that's
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be
front
drawing
and
off of
center.
that. I try to do a little bit of research. I have a page pulled up here that has a little blurb on each of them.
you're going to do the heavy lifting. This is the I looked up like planet information. You're looking up God information.
Well, it was a week ago, so don't put me on the
Okay,
spot
no, that's fine.
because
All right, well.
I was really ready last week, and now
I'm just letting everyone know that
all
you
my
know
information.
everything about Greek gods, and this
I
is going
do.
to be your show. Go ahead.
I invented them all.
Yeah.
So let's start with Zeus.
Okay, number one.
He is the father of all gods and humans.
Yep.
It's kind of how he's recognized. He's the big cheese.
But he's like third born. Is that correct? Or something like that? Because I think the whole thing was like Kronos was just eating his children,
Yeah.
and then finally like Zeus like killed him,
Right.
and then started.
Well,
like,
Zeus had to. Kronos ate all his kids because there was an oracle that said they're going to take him over.
Yeah.
And Zeus kind of gathered everyone to fight.
Kronos, like he
Kronos, yeah.
swallowed the stone, and then it was
Right.
like, oh, I'm
Well, yeah,
throwing up.
he didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't eat his kids, right? Because his mom gave him a stone instead.
No, he ate the kids, and
Oh,
then,
and then she
the
gave him
final
stone.
one was
I
the
see.
stone,
Instead
and then
of yeah.
instead of Zeus,
Gotcha.
Zeus was.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't know if he was born
inside,
first,
and-
whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened was they won, and then they split everything up. Apparently, I thought Zeus took the heavens,
He did. Yeah.
but actually they drew lots for it.
Oh, did they?
They did.
Interesting.
So he got lucky.
Huh.
So he drew the heavens. Poseidon got the sea and earthquakes.
Hades.
Which is little known that Poseidon
Also
is in
earthquakes.
charge of earthquakes.
Yeah. Whenever he's annoyed at the sea, he just.
Literally.
Yeah.
And then Hades gets the underworld.
Huh. Sucks for Hades. Hades seems to be.
He likes his job.
So do you consider Zeus on the list then, or
I think
in
you
the
have to
conversation?
respect his status.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we talked about it. He's a huge adulterer. He fucks everything that moves.
Yeah.
We get some great characters from that, though.
Yeah.
Like my boy Hercules.
Yeah.
Which, quick disclaimer, in Greek mythology, his name is Heracles.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone just calls him Hercules, though, and that is actually the Roman name for him.
Huh.
So since we're talking about Greek, it was Heracles, and he is not a god. He is a demigod, obviously. But he does get accepted into Mount Olympus after he dies because he's just a badass.
They do a lot of that with Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the pronunciations sound very different than what you would assume or what you've heard.
Because there's a lot of the Roman names, yeah.
Yeah, so they go back and they do it like quote unquote right.
Yep.
So
That's cool.
yeah.
He's got the lightning bolt, which is sweet. I think that's a cool power, quote unquote. But yeah, I don't know. He's obviously really important.
Like is the light like a sure, it's cool to throw a lightning bolt. I get that.
He also has an eagle.
And he has an
as his
eagle.
pet.
Yeah.
Name something more American. Lightning bolts and eagles.
Okay. He's not American.
Could be.
But what I'm saying is, isn't it cooler to have power over like the sea?
I think his power, like, he can like transform himself into anything. Like, I think his power is very vast, which is you can't really pin it down.
He's very omnipotent.
But the dude can do shit, man. Like, it's actually interesting. The way he bangs all these chicks is he turns into like their favorite animal and shit.
which is a whole other like,
you're right.
yep.
You're right. But
So I ask.
I would
you
put him as a maybe
again. Okay. Here, I'll
because,
start.
dude, I mean, he's the god of gods. I mean, you got to respect him.
Sure.
Like, whenever you have a beef, you go to Zeus, right? And Zeus tells you what's what.
I had a feeling Zeus would strike you. Ha ha ha. See what there with a lightning.
Why
bolt.
do you think that
No.
is? Dive
Uh,
into my psyche for a minute and tell me why
No,
I
I
would
just
be drawn to Zeus.
I feel like it's the respect factor.
Oh, yeah,
it's
you're
like
absolutely right.
you know what I mean? Like it's
You
just
have to respect him.
yeah, like regardless of good, bad, whatever, it's just like he's the winner.
Yep.
Right? Like he took
I don't
down
think he'll
Titans.
make one. But yeah, the Titan War, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude's a badass.
All right.
Not a good guy at all.
Zeus is in the conversation.
I think he should be, yeah. Marries Hera. kind of big.
Do we
stuff.
talk about Hera? Is that along your?
Yeah, we can do her next.
Hera
if you want.
seems terrible.
Yeah, Hera. So they're sister and brother, which is also fucking weird.
Yeah,
But here's the thing. Okay, we're dudes. We're humans. We can't fathom what it's like to be a god. So maybe it's like normal place in that kind of.
Clearly.
Well, because you're Zeus. Okay, so Zeus is like, okay, I want the best girl because I'm the best.
Yeah.
I'm just talking through his mindset.
Okay,
Hera was
okay.
extremely beautiful and his sister, and he's like, no one else is gonna have her. She's gonna be mine, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, barf, and then he turned into a fucking dove or something.
Okay.
And then she was like, okay, I'll marry you.
That's so weird. But then she gets very jealous, and as he's going around banging.
Well, because then you have a kid, and then obviously there's an attachment. And then you see your husband banging everything that moves.
But then she's going down like murdering them, right? Like,
Yeah.
like she's very jealous.
She tried to murder Heracles in the crib.
Yeah.
The reason I know so much, so this is my proudest moment.
I thought Hades tried to murder him in the crib. That's weird.
No.
Okay.
We'll get to that. How completely inaccurate. I love Hades from Hercules,
Yeah.
the movie, but
Just not.
not even close.
Yeah.
Anyways, Hera is extremely jealous. She tries to kill a lot of people because of that.
Yep.
And I forget there was this one, and she like totally fucks this girl up, just like curses her or something, and I cannot remember who it is. But I was like, dude, this is so fucked.
Everything about it is.
Why don't you do something to Zeus? I guess
Yeah.
she can't. I don't know.
Oh.
But a lot of women prayed to her because she was like saw as the goddess of like motherhood and like labor. So like when you're in labor and stuff, you would pray to Hera for a smooth and safe delivery, which is kind of cool, I guess. She's very smart and measured, but I just think she's a jealous kind of person. I'm not real into that.
I feel like Zeus is jealous too, though, just to play devil's advocate there.
Oh yeah, it's the most toxic relationship
That's,
in the entire universe.
All right.
But here's what I do like about Hera: she's willing to stand up to Zeus.
Yeah.
I like that.
Kind of. Like, or is it like behind the scenes?
No,
where it's
she is the only one who can really say shit to Zeus. It's very much, and I hate to keep bringing up The Sopranos, but it's very much like that dynamic. The only person who's willing to talk back to Tony is his wife.
Yeah.
Carmela Soprano in The Sopranos is infinitely better than Breaking Bad. What's her face?
Skylar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate Skylar, but
Sure.
I really liked Carmela.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Skylar was like more devious behind Walt's back. I don't think Skylar had I'm completely off the rails.
No. I get what you're saying.
Skylar had no respect for Walt
Yeah.
at all.
Right.
But Carmela has respect for Tony, but she's willing to stand up to him as well, like face to face. I like that. Anyways, I don't think Hera's on it unless you have a strong.
I don't like either of them, so that's totally fine.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to his brothers now. So Poseidon.
Yep.
He's one of the 6 children. Kronos, brother of Zeus, obviously, kingdom of the sea. Also the god of horses and earthquakes. That's right. So
That's why you see the horses.
I forget why that is. There's something about the relationship between the sea and horses, and I do not fucking remember what it is, but apparently there's some connection
I think
there.
Poseidon's pretty cool. I like the overall look of it. I like the trident. I like the idea that it's just
He has
like
a chariot
I just
of-
own.
Maybe that's what it is. He has like a
Sea.
chariot of
Yeah.
horses or something.
No, I like the idea
Of sea
like,
horses.
well, it's like if you think about like the ocean is untamed. Like you can't tame the ocean.
Right.
We kind of tamed land largely, right? Like you kind of like you settle on it, you do these things, but like the sea is like vast and unforgiving, and it's just like okay, and then to be the god of that is kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it's a cool power, like you're saying. He falls into the same kind of pitfalls as everyone else, where he's
brother.
just a fucking terrible
Yeah,
person.
he's
and
very bad.
Also, so one of his biggest stories is him and Athena had a lot of beef because they were trying to get the Greeks to name their city after one of them, and he obviously lost.
Yeah.
So got beat by Athena. I guess that's a note.
Sure.
Do you want him on?
I don't think I would like him in consideration. If Zeus is on there, I feel like let's maybe talk about
Who
it.
did Poseidon marry? Do we know this? Doesn't tell me here.
I do. I don't remember, though.
That was another thing where she was like, dude, I don't give a fuck about you. And he's like, oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Third brother, number 3?
Hades. I love Hades.
Hades is pretty good.
So, obviously, brother Zeus and Poseidon, god of the underworld, totally, completely in media, not correct
Yeah.
about who he is. Like, he's always the bad guy, always angry and blah, 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 and hates the underworld and got stuck with it. He actually really enjoys the underworld. He enjoys his job. It keeps him busy. He's actually the most level-headed out of the 3 brothers.
Yep.
Like, doesn't really have a huge temper. Not to say
loves a wife.
loves the wifey. Not to say he hasn't done bad things, but I would say compared to his brother, he hasn't. Like, I don't think he's an adulterer. I think he's pretty faithful to Persephone.
Yeah, he kidnaps Persephone technically, right?
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite stories. So he kidnaps Persephone, daughter of what's her face? Demeter, yes, thank you. Daughter of Demeter. And because he's like lonely down there, he's like working away. He's like, I'm in. My brother's got some wives. I want one.
Yeah.
Walking around, he's like, oh shit, this girl's hot. And then kidnaps her. Demeter then goes, well, this is kind of fucked up. And then she's the goddess of like agriculture. Mm-hmm. So everything stops growing. That's a problem.
Just constant winter.
So Zeus is like, well, we need to fix this. And she goes down to the underworld. Hades is like, okay, I'm a reasonable guy. We'll split her half the year because apparently she's property or some shit like that. Yeah. And so that's where we get spring and winter. Whenever she goes down to the underworld with Hades, Demeter gets upset and nothing grows.
Interesting. Yeah.
And every time she comes back, she's so happy that life blooms again.
And then was it Hades the game that it was more of like Zeus basically was the one that kidnapped her and gave her to Hades to make him seem a little bit nicer and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Hades definitely kidnapped her.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they're all bad people.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But she eventually fell in love with him, I guess.
Oh, yeah, so that's all good then.
I don't know. Stockholm Syndrome. But he's got the Helm of Invisibility or whatever. The Helm of Shadows, which I think is the coolest out of the 3.
I think so, because I think lightning bolts are kind of like, right,
lightning bolts are sweet.
And a trident is
I
cool,
think it goes Helm of Shadows, lightning bolts, trident, in my personal estimation.
You're probably right.
Tridents are cool, but dude, just flinging lightning bolts.
Yeah, it's cooler. It's flashier.
It is way flashier.
Literally flashier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a lightning bolt?
I have.
It's destructive.
Yeah.
Imagine just flinging a bunch.
I would
wherever you want.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
Imagine being in ancient Greece and seeing just lightning. You're like, fuck, Zeus is pissed.
Yeah, he is not happy right now.
Like a crazy like heat storm where there's like lightning going everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, at that same time though, like, I mean, I would assume Poseidon would get more like fear.
Tidal waves and shit.
Yeah, because it's like, I would.
No, I think on a day-to-day you would fear lightning more.
You think?
Yeah.
You're on the sea all the time. I feel like you'd be praying to Poseidon way more than Zeus.
Oh, yeah, if you're on, yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I just feel like lightning is, especially in the unknown world, that is scary. Like these explosions that are just happening.
Yeah, but so are, 15-foot
I just think it's flashier,
waves.
like you said.
Yeah.
I think it's like more substance to it. It's not as dangerous. I totally agree.
Yeah, it's the boom. That
it's the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
All right. I think Hades should be on the list.
All right.
Cerberus is awesome.
Cerberus is cool. Not a god, though, right?
No, but I'm just saying this is all
with Hades.
Part of Hades.
Yeah. Yep.
His lore.
Zagreus,
Charon, the boat guy.
I like him.
All right, let's we talked about Demeter a little bit.
Yep.
Goddess of agriculture, protects trees and plants and grains. She was the first to make the earth fruitful. That's a pretty important job.
It's very Cinderella-esque. I always picture that as like all the birds are singing and flowers are dancing.
Isn't she cold in Hades the game?
No, I don't think so.
She's the cold one, right? Oh no, there's the goddess of winter. I forget what her name is. I thought it
I
started
don't
with
even
a
know
D.
what you're talking about right now.
Hades the video game.
No, I know. I know Hades the video game.
One of the gods is like the god of winter.
Winter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Very good. So
Do you want Demeter on the list?
I'm seeing if there's anything cool about her. I can't remember any of the stories, except the one we just talked about.
I always get her and Artemis confused, and I like Artemis.
Artemis
Hunter.
Fowl?
Yeah, Artemis Fowl.
No, the hunter. Yeah, she's interesting. Do you want her on the list?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
Then we don't need her on the list.
Yeah.
I think she's important. She gave man agriculture. I guess she
Sure.
taught us.
Yeah,
Maybe.
she's a. She gave us Persephone.
Hey, without plants, we'd be nowhere.
That's true.
We'd still be running around hunting things.
Yeah.
So it's important. All right, she won't be on the list since you don't care about agriculture. Talk about cool powers. You just want dangerous powers.
I only want dangerous
not the support powers.
Yeah.
We did hear Apollo. Okay. So
Apollo Creed.
Artemis and Apollo are twins. And Zeus is their dad. Shocker.
Yeah.
Apollo's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a dude's dude.
Yeah.
Like really attractive, really good at everything. God of light, music and poetry, healing and prophecy.
He just gets everything.
That's a lot. If you're the god of light, if that stop there, that's pretty big. That's a pretty big deal. Light's pretty important. What's funny about him is like, even though he's like this dude who's like good at everything, like super attractive, he can never find like a girlfriend. So
I feel like there's something human about that.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
all right.
So kind of like that
big
story. Teacher of the Nine Muses. He's famous for his lyre and everything and his songs.
Yep.
So I'm big on Apollo. I like him.
I feel like you are Apollo.
I'm Apollo.
Yeah, I feel like you're the Apollo-esque person. Like that's what you
Really?
would strive to be. Out of all the gods, you don't think you'd strive
Oh, I
to be Apollo?
strive to be Apollo. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, if I wanted to be, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He's like known for playing pranks on a lot of people. Fuck, what's the one story? He stole someone's bull. Bull. That's like a cow, right?
Bull.
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 B-U-L-L.
Yes. Yeah, bull.
I forget who it was, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but didn't
plays pranks on people?
He pulls pranks on people, but then he also didn't he get like Artemis to kill her boyfriend or something?
Yeah. It was really fucked up. Yeah,
like,
that one was really fucked
it's
up.
like, oh,
I don't
okay.
remember what it was, but yeah.
No, these people are terrible.
Yes, they're
can't- I
gods,
can't
dude. They're
say that
so
enough.
bored. They
Yeah.
have to do fucking horrific
Oh, my
things to
goodness.
feel
This
things.
This is a terrible list. Okay.
What are you talking about?
No, it's a great list. I just
They're
feel
gods. They're
bad
not even
about it.
real.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever.
It
I
might
think
be.
he should be on the list. What
You
do
don't
think?
you don't know 100% that they're not real. You know that's the thing at the end of the day.
Like, what if the Greeks were right?
Yeah.
Man, who would I be
Amazing.
praying to the most? Apollo's pretty good one
Probably
to play
Apollo.
to.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. Music, great. Prophecy, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Healing, I need that sometimes.
Yeah.
Light, I use that occasionally.
You think it's light as in light, or is it like goodness?
It's like light because he's depicted with the sun.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's not an amazing guy.
Yeah, I know. He's
I don't think he's a bad guy though. Fuck! I'm trying to remember which story that was because he makes like a lute or a lyre or something for someone.
yeah.
Can't remember which god it is.
Yeah.
'Cause he stole his bull.
Bull instead is like here's the lyre instead. I think
Anytime
it
in a
was,
play. Was it the god of war?
No.
Is it Ares?
No.
Ares wouldn't forgive that.
Hermes?
Is it Hermes? Was it Hermes?
No. If he's the god of who is the god of music? No. Hold on. I got it. Not Demeter. Who's the wine and dine guy? It's not Apollo.
Oh, it starts with an A, doesn't it?
Maybe.
The wine and dine guy.
Yeah. Who's the cool
Dionysus.
dude? Dionysus. It was him.
Dionysus.
I think it.
Dionysus.
Dionysus.
Dionysus. Yeah, Dionysus.
It was him.
Wine guy. Wine and diner.
It's got to be him, right?
I don't remember.
All right. What are we talking about?
Dude,
So
look
Apollo-
up whose bull did all this deal, and I'll go to the next one while you're looking at it.
Oh my gosh, we really care about this, right?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Artemis, Apollo's twin sister, goddess of hunting wild animals in the wilderness. Spent her time in the woods.
Hermes stole Apollo's cattle and then gave him the loot.
Wait.
or whatever.
Oh, it was the
That
other way
was what it was.
around.
Yeah.
So Hermes is the fucker.
Yeah.
I see.
Do we want to talk about Hermes real quick? If that's
no, we got to go Artemis.
All right, Artemis. All right.
Artemis?
I don't know.
I don't know either. All right, Artemis. Hunting, bow and arrows. She doesn't miss.
Yep.
She's a virgin. There's a couple gods that are completely celibate, which is impressive.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
She was so focused on her craft. And she's the protector of young girls. I think there's something to be said about that.
She's not doing a very good job. If Zeus and I don't know everyone, but okay,
she does what she can.
she can.
She's associated with the moon because they're twins.
So I like Artemis.
Do you? Why?
I do. I like the bow and arrow. I like the whole like kind of nature-esque.
The deer, the deer that follows her,
Yeah.
and the nymphs.
It reminds me a lot of like the night elves from Warcraft.
Okay.
I dig that vibe. I don't like nature, but I like those who preside over it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. Is she list worthy?
I mean, you could keep her on until we don't. I don't know if she's like top 5.
Okay.
I think it's worth having that representation.
I dig it. Aphrodite.
Aphrodite's pretty good.
Most beautiful among mortals and immortals.
Yeah.
Apparently she's born from foam of the sea.
I feel like that's the nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
Wasn't she like, I think it was a little bit more graphical.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
I think.
I think there were some testicles involved there.
There was some.
Yeah. I think it does have bull or something. I don't know. I remember we were reading in history class at one point, and they were talking about it, and there was a passage specific, like being pretty graphic, and this was like Christian school. Like I would say maybe like 8th grade, maybe 7th.
Yeah.
It was
Graphic.
That was some lewd things.
You love that.
in that passage.
I bet. So she is the goddess of beauty and passion.
Yep.
Inspires love in the hearts of men and women. Most myths generally present Aphrodite as vengeful.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
I don't get that vibe. And
Yeah, she married Hephaestus, god of the forge.
yeah.
That was like a forced marriage, though, because he's like this uglier guy. He's like, well, we'll get to him, but essentially, he's like, all right, bro, I've been dicked on enough. I want to marry her. Points to Aphrodite. Zeus is like, okay. Aphrodite's like, what the fuck? So she went with it, but then she cheats on him with Ares.
Oh,
That is my favorite ship out of all of these gods, because you have the god of beauty.
yeah.
Who does she want? The god of war. Fascinating.
Yep.
And not just any war, like the bloodshed type of war.
Yeah, the bad
war. Not that there's a good war, but the bad stuff.
Yeah, not the smart war, the dumb.
I guess this is where we get opposites attract. I don't know. Maybe she's vengeful, it seems. Maybe she appreciates that in Ares.
I mean, yeah, I'm surprised that it's not like an Apollo Aphrodite thing. Like you would expect
That's what you
those
expect.
to be on the same
That's
page.
why it's the most interesting relationship to me, because it's someone who represents absolute beauty and someone who represents the most abhorrent part of what we do.
Yeah.
Opposites attract.
All right.
All right. I like Aphrodite.
I like Aphrodite. I feel
All
like
right.
as men,
She's hot.
we have to, right?
She's hot.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
I mean, is she not?
No, I mean, every time I've seen her.
But she was in love with the god Ares, whom she bared many children among. Man, who are those kids? I got to look that up.
Kratos.
Really?
I don't know.
In the game?
No.
They Eros is one of them. Cupid
I actually makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's cool.
Yeah.
shoots people with his arrow. All right, speaking of which, Ares is next. God of War, son of Zeus and Hera, so the
Yeah.
power couple.
Yep. So he's full on God.
He's full on big blooded god. Yeah. Followed by his 2 faithful sons and followers, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Handsome and strong and well-armed, obviously.
Sure. That's a euphemism.
You know what? We're really putting the pieces
it's
together.
like an arm if you get what I'm saying.
I feel you, man. So, Aphrodite has a type.
It just seems...
Okay.
I didn't know Ares was handsome or classified as handsome. That would make sense.
I could see it,
yeah. You have this forge.
Well, dude, he's got to be good looking. Like, Aphrodite's got standards.
She has some shallow standards.
Yeah. She's the god of beauty.
If that's literally what
passion.
You're the god of, yeah.
That screams shallow.
Yeah, well, it seems... Passion, like, Ares is always on fire, right?
Is he?
I don't know. He isn't God of War.
So anyways, he was pretty much born and he was like super violent. So everyone was like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And kind of outcasts from the rest of the gods. This is actually a big part in the love story as well, because Aphrodite is one of the first people who took interest in him at all, which is why he reciprocated the feelings, I'm sure, because he's like, oh, she actually cares about me, or actually she's talking to me or whatever. So he's only worshipped really in Sparta, which just
tracks,
makes sense. They have a statue dedicated to him, which is sweet. He was tried according to tradition for his many war crimes. One of them in Athens later became the seat of criminal court in ancient Athens, which is cool.
How do you feel about Ares? You like
He's
Ares?
sweet. He's badass.
Yeah, I figured you'd like him.
I know we're not. The list isn't like these are the best, as in morally right.
No,
it's they're the
turning into
best,
just
as in
cool.
coolest, sweetest. Yeah, Ares is sweet.
Okay,
he's a badass.
All right,
so I want him on.
Better,
dude. He fucks shit up and he banged Aphrodite. Like, what else can this guy? What does he have to do?
I take it back. Apollo is not. Maybe Apollo is who you're striving to be, but Ares is who you worship. Is that kind of
there's a split that diverges? Good Jon or bad Jon, and that's probably the two.
Good Jon would be Apollo, except you die at 40.
The thing I like about Apollo is everyone loves Apollo.
Yeah,
and I want that respect and admiration from everyone. But I like.
Well, when you live long enough to become the villain, you turn into Ares.
That's right.
That's how that works.
Apollo's not a good guy.
No, none of them are. What about, so what's the other half of Bad War? Let's talk about the Good War.
Oh, the other half of Bad War is Athena.
Yeah.
So she's Good War. So, okay, Athena, she's wisdom and strategic warfare.
Yeah.
Okay. Athena is the most beloved daughter among Zeus's children. Or most beloved child. It says daughter. That would make sense. They were very sexist back then, I'm sure. So, her mother was the Titaness Metis, first wife of Zeus. Zeus receives a prophecy, okay?
Yep.
That I guess there was going to be twins. So the dude in what's-her-face's belly was going to kind of same thing, take over. So he ate his wife.
Zeus did.
Yeah. Instead of eating the kids, he didn't even let them get born. He ate his wife.
A Titan.
Yeah, he ate a Titan.
And then Athena broke out.
Yeah, Athena breaks out of his head. So he has headaches. He asks someone else to open it up. Hephaestus, god of the forge.
Yeah.
Splits his head up,
Aphrodite.
where we get a splitting headache from. Yeah. And out comes Athena in full armor and everything. These are wild.
I like Athena a lot. I like the idea of the strategy. I like defense.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I would like her to be.
So yes, she's also completely celibate. She's too good for it.
All right, hold on. Let me rethink some things.
Oh,
no,
you don't have a chance. You don't got a chance, Ty.
No, I don't care about that. I'm just saying if I'm trying to think
what she has to put out for her to be.
No. But
good?
like if you're trying to model your life after one of the gods, I don't know if.
Well, the strategic part.
Sure.
So she won the battle over Poseidon and protector of heroes, wisest among the gods, one of the most powerful and important gods considered. I think she's definitely.
I think she should be on the list personally.
Yeah, I'm there.
All right,
I'm there.
Cool.
I'm there. She's
All
not
right.
my favorite, but I think she needs respect.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of the God of the Forge, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Hephaestus.
Sure. That sounds good.
He's got a fire and blacksmiths. He's like extremely ugly. Not extremely, but he was born ugly. And his mom, who's Hera, so he's born as Zeus and Hera, she's unable to nourish him. Really, she didn't like the way he looked. Like he came out like all blackened
Sooty.
up and sooty and everything, right? So she throws him from Mount Olympus.
As one does.
He crashes it to Earth, and then he has a permanent limp because of this. He's picked up by Nereids. I don't know who that is. Or is that a species? There's like mermaids. Who raise him. And he kind of goes to this mountain, this volcano, and kind of hones his craft as the best blacksmith ever. He's
Okay.
crafted a lot of pretty good things. So he makes like the best weapons and jewelry and shit. Comes back to Mount Olympus, so this is pretty cool. And it's like, hey, Mom, what's up? She's like, oh, fuck. And he's like, it's all good. I made you this sweet throne. Let's let bygones be bygones. She's like, all right, you can come back in.
Yeah.
And then it was a trap, so she's like stuck to this throne. And he's like, I want to see you on the fucking Mount Olympus, and then I'll let you out. And I want to marry her. And he points to Aphrodite. So that was kind of a
Aside
cool story.
from the whole like stealing Aphrodite, I do like the idea of getting just cast out and
Saying
him
fuck
just
you,
being like,
honing a
oh,
craft. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
coming back and swindling his mom to get back on the throne. Yeah. I like it. He's a cool dude.
So we putting him as a maybe? I mean, I know we're putting all of these guys on.
Yeah, I think he's a maybe. I do like the dude.
Cool.
Kind of an underdog story.
Is that it? We have another one?
Oh, we got more.
Oh, all right.
We got Hermes.
Hermes.
God of wealth, trade, thieves, and travelers, also known as the messenger of the gods.
Yep.
Hermes is sweet. He's zipping around everywhere. Son of Zeus and someone else, Maia, who's a daughter of the Titan Atlas. Interesting. Didn't know that. He's clever, inventive, arrogant. I feel like if you're the messenger of the gods, you'd be pretty arrogant.
I feel like he's like wisecracking, jokes.
Oh, here it is. So
sarcasm.
as soon as he was born, he saw a turtle, took the shell, placed 7 strings, and invented the lyre. Cool. Stole an oxen from Apollo. We talked about that.
A bull.
So he's the shifty
trickster,
one,
yeah.
the trickster. Yeah. To avoid punishment, gifted him the lyre. He wears winged sandals. Held a cadius, which is like a rod with the serpents around it, and
Yep.
something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. Classic Cadius.
Yeah,
Cadeus, but yeah.
and Cadeus is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. And
Soft
so the cool thing about him is he knows where everything is. So he's often the guy you come to get down to the underworld because he knows all the passages in and
Yep.
shit. So it's kind of cool.
That's kind of neat. Like he's kind of like this, for lack of a better term, worldly guy, or just kind of like the man's man. Not
He's
man's
the man's
but
man.
he's like, hey, you want to buy some death sticks?
I feel like
view him
Apollo's
as
the
that.
man's man.
Yeah.
He's more the trickster, funny guy.
Is he like a burnout? Is he like a school burnout type of guy? Like
No,
he's
I feel like
smoking
he's-
some weed and
No, I feel like he's a prodigy.
Oh,
He came out and invented the lyre at 7 seconds old.
I mean that's sure.
Stole a turtle shell.
I mean, you're a god. I feel like that's expected of you.
that's impressive.
All right.
I put him as a maybe. He's cool.
All right.
I also like that all the thieves they all pray to Hermes, and
Yeah.
the thing I like about Greek mythology
There's
is like the
someone for
bad
everyone.
guys could pray. They're like, please, Hermes, let my fucking death stick sell today.
Yeah. Yeah. Please
I
let my
love
fingers
that.
be nimble.
It's like, in Christianity, it's like, well, God,
You get one.
you get one, and he
That's it.
doesn't like that
Yep.
kind of thieving kind of thing. All right, we did Athena, Dionysus,
Yeah.
god of wine.
Dionysus seems like a good time.
He seems like a great time. Also the god of religious ecstasy, whatever that fucking means.
Religious
I
ecstasy.
guess. Very beloved among the people, obviously. Very important god, son of Zeus.
He's a partier.
And immortal.
He's like Apollo lets his hair down.
He was a patron god of theater and taught people how to make wine. The Athenians, to honor Dionysus, held famous celebrations characteristic to his merriment, and he was prohibited during such. Any use of force was prohibited during such holidays. So peaceful time.
Just
That's
party.
a celebratory party kind of god, man.
Yeah.
He's sweet.
I like Dionysus a lot. I like him a lot.
Especially in a depressing world like ancient Greeks, you need Dionysus to come in and be like, okay, today we party.
We're hanging
and we
out.
don't kill each other.
Yeah, we're just gonna drink wine and leave the knives at home.
Okay, we got Hestia, goddess of domestic life, home, and hearth.
Yeah,
kept the family's home warm.
Sure.
Eldest daughter of Kronos and Rhea.
I feel like
eldest
she could not
sister
be
of Zeus. She's not gonna be on the list, but it is interesting. So they have like a flame burning to worship for her that keeps their houses warm, and you kind of take it with you when you travel somewhere else, so you have a piece of the home with you. Kind of cool. I like that. She was always staying on Mount Olympus, keeping the sacred flame going.
Seems very just kind of like
patriarchal.
Lame compared to the
her job was to stay home and take care of the house.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, sure. Like honestly,
super lame.
It's probably who I would align with most.
To keep me safe at the home. Yeah, you never want to leave your home.
I never want to leave. I just want to stay at home.
Those are the main ones.
Those are good. We have a lot to trim.
Yeah, we got a lot to trim. So I'll leave it there. I know there's a lot of other cool gods. And
so right now, we have Athena on the list.
Yeah.
I think you were pretty hot on Hades. Haha. Do you want to put Hades on the list?
I want Hades, and I want Ares, and I'm very strong on Apollo.
Oh, man.
But if I had to pick one out of all of them.
If you had to pick between Apollo or Ares.
I'd pick Ares over Apollo.
Interesting.
But I like both quite a bit.
Okay. So, wow. All right. So
Hades is my favorite of the three brothers.
I agree.
So if we have to nix Zeus and Poseidon for Hades, I totally am on board.
We don't have to do it in that way, but I agree with you. I like Hades a lot for that. So I
will put Hades Apollo, and Ares over the two other brothers, to put it that way. So I would get rid of them unless you have a strong.
Okay. So Zeus and Poseidon, we are taking off the list. Hades
is a bold call, but dude, I mean,
no, I'm with you.
I just resonate more with the other ones.
Hades is on the list. Athena is on the list.
Yeah. All right, you're up.
I like. Oh man, I like Hephaestus a lot.
Blacksmith guy.
Yeah,
I'm down for him. He's a good underdog story. Whereas a lot of these other gods are like handed everything and they're just prodigies. He fucking worked.
Yeah. So it's weird because like, so you like Ares? Like Ares is like
he's badass.
Your second favorite god.
Yeah. He might be my favorite god. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Why, dude? He's awesome.
Okay. All right. So Artemis,
god of war, bro.
Artemis, god of the hunt, gone. Right.
Well, it's up to you. How strong do you feel about it,
man? Well, not strong enough when you're like we already have technically 5 if we go with your suggestion.
I understand. That's why I'm letting you fight.
Yeah, no, I'm looking through. What about Aphrodite?
Oh yeah, Aphrodite should probably be on there.
But I don't know who you would take her over.
So we have Athena, Hades, Ares.
The 3 we agreed on right now.
Okay.
Well, do you like Hephaestus or no?
Yeah, I like him.
So Hephaestus, Hades, and Athena, we agree on.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. Sorry, cats just ran across the table. Let's go. All right. Sorry, I'm moving stuff around. So Hades, Athena, and Hephaestus.
Yes, we have them.
So Apollo, Hermes, Aphrodite, Ares. Apparently, I have Hermes twice on here, so I'm gonna delete that, and then Dionysus.
Oh, this is tough.
Dionysus is pretty good. I could take Dionysus over Aphrodite because I feel like in my mind I would expand that out to it's more of like a party and friendship and different things, and Aphrodite is very much like like love and that sort of thing. Not that that's a bad thing, but like,
would you rather party? Or
I would rather have like the general good feel vibes of Dionysus over necessarily like this like strong lust of Aphrodite personally.
Yeah.
So if I had to pick between those two, I would take Dionysus.
Wine's good.
Wine's is not. It's fine.
It's okay.
All right.
Back in the old world, it's definitely good.
It's okay.
It's a necessity, actually.
Hermes, I like the scrappy nature. I like I like the Chandler Bing of the gods, right? Like if I was looking
I'm sure
at Hermes,
that's how they want to be portrayed as Chandler Bing.
That's kind of how I see him. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Chandler Bing isn't the Hermes of Friends. Hermes is the Chandler Bing of the gods.
Okay. All right.
So you want him on? Well, who do you want on?
Give me Hephaestus. I would.
You want Hephaestus over all of these guys?
I could go back and I like Hephaestus and Dionysus. You like Ares and Apollo.
Yeah.
We both like Athena and Hades.
I also like Aphrodite, but it seems like you're not big on her.
Not as big. Not as big as
Ares was.
Dionysus.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We have 3. We need to get 2. So the real question is,
okay,
out of Apollo, so I'll take. I will fight for Dionysus. Out of looking all these, or Dionysus, or however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I will fight.
So it's really Hephaestus or Apollo.
If Ares is a lock,
and you want Dionysus to be a lock.
Yeah, so it really turns into Apollo or Hephaestus.
Oh, it's Apollo. Yeah, Apollo or Hephaestus. I think Hephaestus has the cooler story.
I agree.
I think Apollo is the
cooler god.
Cooler god.
Yeah.
So it is tough. God of Light, pretty big.
So let me.
But I like the story. I think it's different than a lot of the other ones. So it
is a little bit more unique.
Yeah,
in
I agree.
Because like all the gods are like, oh, I'm lovely,
gods,
I'm awesome, I'm the best,
yeah.
and then
Apollo
this
like
guy.
Is a culmination of that.
Yeah,
literally,
he's like the god's god.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Hephaestus is I was cast
Oh, my
out.
mom threw me off the mountain of heaven,
Yeah.
and now I limp around. And my wife cheats on me with the god of war.
So then are we saying Hades, Hephaestus, Athena, Ares, and Dionysus are the 5?
Yeah. Hermes is great, but we do not have a lot. This is actually a very tough list because I like a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
And Zeus is not even close, which is I'm surprised. Like I respect him, but all of these other guys are cooler.
Yeah.
Set
it in motion.
I'm good with the 5. I'm good with these 5.
All right. Let's all right, so what would you put at number 5 then?
I think it's got to be Hephaestus probably, since
5?
he
Yeah.
barely made it.
I could do that. Number 4.
I don't think I'm gonna like what you say, but just say it. Just say it.
Well, I'm looking at it.
Okay.
I'm looking at it.
Okay.
You think Ares is higher than Athena?
In my personal opinion, but Athena is one of the best. I mean,
so let me ask you this. Hades is upper tier?
I would put Dionysus at 4.
If you put Ares at 3,
Okay.
then I could stomach Dionysus being at 4.
Because you want Athena at 2?
Well, we could talk about Athena and Hades, but I think both Hades and Athena are better than Ares.
I'll make that trade.
Make that trade?
Yeah.
So then, okay, so Hephaestus at 5, Dionysus at 4.
Yeah.
Ares at 3.
Yep.
Did you want Athena at 2? You think Hades is
I think
the
it could
best
go either
god?
way. I think Athena could be considered the best god. I don't think you'll see a lot of... I think if we're being objective, I think Athena's...
I kind of like Athena being
god.
number 1. And that's surprising because that would not have been my number 1 going into this list.
You just think of like it literally is well known. She's the wisest of all the gods.
And you
come
bust
to her
out of the top god's head.
Already
dressed
fully.
in armor.
Yeah,
Just like,
I mean, that's a pretty wild scene. I really enjoy that she's the god of heroes too.
Yeah.
Like all of the great mythological heroes
You
get
get
counseled
some
by
Apollo
her.
feels in there. She's better than
Oh, yeah,
Apollo.
it's just, I don't know. She's like the teacher of heroes, which is obviously
it's who
sweet.
you aspire to.
She beat out Poseidon, getting Athens named after her.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
Yeah.
She's good.
All right.
She's good.
So
Hades is great though. I do love Hades.
Hades is very
I feel
misunderstood.
like he's super misunderstood.
Yeah.
Completely misrepresented. He's like completely even keeled and like
It's too easy to
rational.
be like, it's the devil. And,
exactly.
And that's
yeah.
it.
We just let our own Western philosophy. Well, I guess Greece is in the West, right?
I mean, as long as you
We let our own modern philosophy
go
or
enough
whatever.
left, and everything's in the West. Okay.
Yep.
Number 5, Hephaestus. Number 4, Dionysus. Number 3, Ares. Number 2, Hades. And number 1, the best Greek god is Athena.
Yeah. Good representation.
Yeah.
Athena's pretty badass. I mean,
I like
not going to
Athena a
deny
lot.
it.
I'm a big Athena fan.
In Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
She
true.
gives you all those loot
Yeah.
rewards. That's all we got.
It was a long one. We got.
Hope it was enough for you.
This is 2 hours and 31 minutes.
If anyone made it this far, congratulations. That was a hefty episode of the Couch Company podcast.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you joining us. Check us out at couchcompany.games. All our links are there. You can find us on any podcast site, right?
Yeah.
Spotify and everything.
Yeah. The podcast will get you Anchor, but then from there you can go to.
If you go to couchcompany.games, you can see all of our top 5 lists if you're curious about,
Top 5
about the
ratings.
takes we have,
Yeah.
ratings and games.
Yep.
And everything like that, which is cool. So check us out there. Check us out on Couchco at Couchco Games on Twitter. Someone needs to tell me why the Zerg win. And
Please
also,
explain to me why the Zerg win.
I think they do, but I just need a nice
All right.
written explanation. And vote in our polls. It's always a good time. We
Yeah.
want to hear from you guys. If you don't think the Zerg win, then vote in the next poll to make sure they lose.
Yeah. Whenever they go up against something.
I'm going to find something. All right. That's all we got. Thanks for joining us on the couch. We'll see you same time, same place next week.